Welcome in 98.5 The Sports Hub. I'm Joe Murray with you this 4th and Friday. Full show here until 10 o'clock. Of course, the new hours. To all the new listeners used to the baseball hour, nope. It's going to be the Joe Murray Show, which I'm still weird about saying, even though Skaz is here. It's the night show. And the phone number is 617-779-0985. Everything on the table. Everything. We're really going to talk a ton of football. There's college football this weekend. Of course, there's NFL. We get the Patriots and Dolphins here on 98.5 The Sports Hub on Sunday. I'll be here on postgame with Leroy. We're going to break down this game. And I know there's a lot of talk about the other storylines, which is really the only important thing in this town. So forgive me if I actually give you analysis on this game this weekend. I'm going to try at least. But the Celtics, they played today a preseason game in Abu Dhabi. So I watched the whole thing. I had a chance to watch it. There were some good quotes. So we'll have an update on that, maybe some audio as well throughout the day. Throughout the night here, excuse me. And some Bruins notes. There was one player, of course, we know about, went to arbitration. Sent the team to arbitration, but somehow he, wasn't his fault. But there was another guy who went to arbitration and gave his quote. So we'll have that for you later on in the show. We'll talk with Julian Edlow of DraftKings. We're going to get his thoughts on college football games this weekend in NFL. So a lot of betting stuff for you guys ready to put some action this weekend. And we'll talk to John Sarianides. He's from New England Football Journal. What's up on the college scene? I know I said he got a bye week this week, so no high school game. But he's credentialed. We'll see what he feels about the Patriots locker room as well. So again, the phone number here is 617-779-0985. We have set the table. All the plates are set. The utensils. Let's break some bread. And real quick, if you would like, you can watch on YouTube. Go to youtube.com/985 The Sports Hub. Or if you have an Xfinity remote, you hit the little speaker, YouTube 985 The Sports Hub. And boom, it goes right to it. And you can watch it or you can pull it up on your app or your phone or whatever device that you have. And join our chat, which people are in there already. We got in or out musings, a full show. And Skaz is here as well. So where do we start today? The Patriots and Dolphins. Something's got to give between these two teams. This game is very important. Two of the worst teams in the NFL offensively are going at it. One coach has a job in Gerard Mayo and probably will be here next year. What about the other coach? If you just keep it to the Patriots, if they win, they're 2-3. There's no mutiny in the locker room. Gerard Mayo's got it handled. It just looks a lot better, or at least it looks a lot better than it is. How about that? If they lose, it's 1-4, and we're rooting for more. More what? More losing. Mayo will feel more pressure. We'll hear more sounds for Drake May to play. More players will act out. More criticism towards ownership and Robert Kraft. Here's another thing. The Patriots are 1-point favorites this weekend. I feel the Dolphins are better at almost every single position than the Patriots. I already mentioned the coaching matchup. Although Mike McDaniel, Miami Mike, has been terrible this year, specifically terrible without Tua Tagovailoa, he has the same issues with his team, with even bigger egos and bigger contracts. I already mentioned Mayo may not have to worry about his future with a loss, but for Miami, could it be it for Miami Mike, who had a very, very, very tough week, faced a ton of adversity? They're on a short week. Both teams are going to play with a bad quarterback. Let's face it. The Patriots are littered with injuries. The Dolphins on a short week, as I mentioned, going on the road, and they struggle to stop the run. And what do the Patriots think that they're good at? Running the football. Remember, one week they rushed for 170, and the next 185. That's gone away. This is a huge week for Gerard Mayo. Can he get control of the team? Can he get the win? Can he get the locker room or win over the locker room? All the pressure is on the Patriots to win this weekend. Miami should. There's more pressure on the Patriots. Miami's got a built-in excuse with no Tua Tagovailoa. But there's no excuse for the Patriots to be 1-9 at home in their last 10 games. There's no excuse for that. 1-point favorite at home against a backup quarterback with a team that's reeling and has injuries, and their coach is facing adversity. You would think it's a no-brainer. We're talking about the 2024 New England Patriots. This game is huge for Gerard Mayo. This game is huge for Mayo. And I know Miami has a lot on the line. I already mentioned the built-in excuse there. But if they lose, what are you going to hear from Tyreek Hill this week, who was barking on the sideline? You can see it in the press conferences with Mike McDaniel. He is under pressure. You've heard about mutiny in the locker room. We've seen temper tantrums on the field. I don't need to go to the tape. I don't need to work for the team. I can tell you I have seen temper tantrums, and Bob Douglas was one of them. Jalen Polk's another. And Devin Godshaw will tell you that maybe other guys are starting to just freelance and do what they want. Maybe even some guys want Drake May. It's a huge week for the Patriots and Gerard Mayo in particular. And for the Dolphins' sake of it, they're a better team. McDaniel is a better coach. You have Huntley, who's now going to have 2 starts under him. If the guys are freelancing, like we're hearing about, one little fake here, a Josh Uche miss here, and a touchdown there. A lot's on the line for the Patriots. Gerard Mayo in particular. He's this defensive mind. This is the guy that Robert Kraft picked 5 years ago to take over for Bill Belichick and went through the whole ordeal. And by the way, Gerard Mayo, the same guy a year ago that said the defense was upset with the offense and that defensive players were calling out Mac Jones plays during practice. Yeah, that guy. With a win, he's 2-3, and he's got the locker room back. Your thoughts at 617-779-0985. Don't forget we're on YouTube as well. We got Skaz here. I know he's got some thoughts on Mayo this week. And we'll have more on Mayo in the locker room. He was asked about it today. We'll have that audio for you coming up on the other side. I'm Joe Murray. It is 4th and Friday with you till 10 o'clock here on 98.5 The Sports Zone.
You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5. You're listening to Joe Murray.
and the guys in the locker room. So I haven't heard that, and I mean, that's journalism for you. I'm not sure.
But it's from the team, so I wanted to check with another team employee here.
No, like I said, I haven't heard that, and try not to pay attention to that stuff. So you got to ask him.
Does it feel like there's frustration in the locker room?
I mean, it's always frustrating when you're not winning. The guys put a lot of work in, and everyone wants to try to find a solution right now while we're going through this transition. So people are definitely frustrated, and that's a normal human response. I feel pretty good about, the way that we're going. I used the analogy this morning. It's almost like flying through the clouds, but you have to use the instruments instead of really, getting until you get to clear skies. So, when I took this job, I knew the lumps would come. I mean, it's part of the transition.
You check with John Jones about that analogy?
I'm still kind of like, I don't know if I want him to be my pilot at this time. No, he's done a good job. He's done a good job.
All right, back here at 98.5 The Sports Zone. Do you know what I get about Mayo? I don't know. I don't know if this is a criticism. I'm just going to say it. He's real. Hey, I knew what this team was going to be this year. Hey, I knew what I was in for. We're going to work hard. We're going to try to do things my way. And then he goes, yeah, I don't know. And then he'll make a joke like, man, where I was coming from with that. It's like, does he want to be people's buddies too? Or was the fact that he was in the media, he feels like he can relate to these people? Anyways, whatever. Gerard Mayo responding to the comment that there was mutiny in the locker room. Teetering on mutiny in the locker room was the quote. And we had Evan Lazar on last night. So for those who've been asking us, Evan's a frequent guest to the show. We love him. We respect him. And I asked him on Monday. I said, hey, we have Bruins games tonight and a Revs game Wednesday. Can you do Monday or Thursday or Friday this week? He said he would do Thursday, 8:20. So we booked this thing in advance. This wasn't planted by the Patriots or any of that. I didn't have him on that night because of what happened. And I followed up with him, and I said, hey, you still want to come on tonight? We can do Zoom or whatever. And he goes, no, call me. He faced the music. He gave his answer. Whatever anyone thinks about him, I respect him for what he did. The other thing is this. We do radio shows. This isn't me protecting him. We do radio shows. Listen, I say things crazy all the time. I go a little overboard on some things sometimes. All right, we all do it. But this kid was, and I say a kid. That's when I met him recently. I said, "Dude, you're a kid. You're all grown up." He's in the locker room. He's just telling you what he's seeing. He's not. I don't even think there's anything biased about it or unbiased about it, whatever. I think I like a guy that's a straight shooter. I don't need him to tell me that there's issues in the locker room. It's been going on for years. It's a fact. I saw it on the field. I don't need him to tell me that. But I wanted to ask him the question, and if someone said something to him, I don't know that. We have to assume they did. Come on. But I'm glad he called in. He faced the music. He's our guy. I'm going to back him. But, the quote was, they're teetering on mutiny in the locker room. And it was on the Catch-22 podcast. I do want to give him credit for bringing Alex Barth up, though, Skaz. That was always a good one. Because you know what? I'd be like, Skaz sometimes, that cheeky little guy back there. You know what I mean? He's always, can never take him seriously sometimes. But Mayo came out today. You just heard the clip. He's denying it. Mayo was asked to respond. My focus is on the Dolphins. The guys in the locker room, blah, blah, blah. So I haven't heard that, and that's journalism for you. I'm not sure. Whatever, bro. Andrew Callahan of the Herald clarified with Mayo, that's from the team. So I wanted to check with another team employee here. No, like I said, I haven't heard that. I try not to pay attention for that stuff. You got to ask him. So Mayo wanted no part of the mutiny discussion. He did not shy away from any frustrations. Said he's frustrated. Guys put a lot of work in. Everyone wants to try and find a solution. Right now we're going through the transition. So people are definitely frustrated. And that's a normal human response. He feels good about where they're going. And basically reiterated that, he anticipated these types of struggles. When he took the job, I knew our lumps would come. It's part of the transition. So whatever. Whether there is mutiny or not, I think we all are smart enough to realize things aren't right. They're not right. I would be pissed if I was on a team where my quarterback couldn't throw the ball to a receiver or you only scored 13 points a game. That's a human nature. It's human nature. But I don't know. Are things a little different in there? Yes. Every single guy got an extension this year. And now they're playing these undrafted people at positions because there's injuries everywhere. There's backups everywhere on the team. And I'll just keep saying this is how important this game is this week. I still think the Dolphins are a better team. I think McDaniel's a better coach. Is Brissett better than Huntley? Sure, fine. To me, it's a wash. Can either team score? No. And I don't know. I still think Jalen Waddle can be a problem. I still think Tyreek Hill can be a problem. Can the Patriots actually do what they're good at and run the football? And Skaz, I know you hit me up on the way in just saying how you think this game is really important. And, we should probably mention that this year, whenever anyone asks this show, you or I, what would be a successful season for the Patriots? It wasn't about the wins. It wasn't about playing Drake May. It wasn't about, guys progressing. It was about Gerard Mayo and how he handles situations and how he coaches. And boom, here we are. Right now, we get that first moment to see what happens.
Yeah, I think this is a massive week for Gerard Mayo. We've been, good start to the season, and they've really fallen off in the last 2 weeks. Now we have, the rumors, speculation, whatever you want to call it, about the locker room, him maybe losing some control there, maybe overblown, maybe not. I think we're going to find out on Sunday, Joe. I think this is a really big game for buy-in and just coaches in general. McDaniel, a guy who his team seems to be reeling without Tua, the belief in him as this offensive guru. They're scoring less points than the Patriots since they've lost Tua. Things have been really bad in Miami. Tyler Huntley, a fake Pro Bowler, as we like to call him and Mac Jones, that same Pro Bowl. So this is a very, very winnable game for the Patriots, something that they're not going to have a lot of this year, and it is a very, very winnable game at home. And so I think this is a huge spot for a young head coach to prove himself. The Patriots don't have to blow the Dolphins out of the water for me to be impressed by Gerard Mayo on Sunday. They just have to look like a competent football team. Don't get penalties. Don't get turnovers. Have somewhat of a more cohesive game plan on offense. I know that's more Van Pelt than Mayo, but I just think weeks like this, when it's two bad football teams both headed in the wrong direction, a lot of it comes down to coaching. Are the guys still invested? Do they care? And I think we're going to see that on Sunday. Can Mayo continue to get these guys to buy in on a bad football team with poor QB play?
So can I give you an analogy? Last year, there were times where I thought Bill Belichick and the team quit. The Dallas game, I thought they were done. Like, that was it. The Germany game, that might have been like this is it. There's changes ahead. But to compare it to last year, the Patriots had the Saints coming in. Winnable game. 1-point favorites. Patriots should win the game, right? Saints are struggling. Derek Carr stinks. Blah, blah, blah. Their coach was on the hot seat. Remember this? I hate to say this, but the same exact things from last year are happening this year. Nothing's changed. Truly. It's just the offense is worse. It's worse than Bill O'Brien. It's worse than who? Matt Patricia. It is worse. So it's not getting better. The vibe might not be better. New coach in charge, same thing. But what happened in that game last year, if you remember, Skaz, against the Saints? Do you remember?
Yes, that would be a massive Saints blowout win.
34-0. 34-0.
Not good.
The analysis I have given you is the same analysis I gave you last year. Saints can't stop the run. Mac Jones should be able to throw on these guys. Their coach stinks. They're on the hot seat. Blah, blah, blah. 34-0. So I want to tell you that the Patriots can run the football on them. right? I want to tell you that their defense should be able to contain Waddle and Hill. I want to tell you all these things. I don't know this 2024 Patriots team. What would make you think they can? And this is where Gerard Mayo comes in. Can he show he has control of the team? Is there buy-in from everyone? If it's not Ramondre Stevenson starting and it's Antonio Gibson, how does it look? Is Alex Van Pelt going to run the ball instead of being so damn cute? Can the defense, when you hear all about Christian Gonzalez and how great he is in the history of Jonathan Jones versus Tyreek Hill, you would think all those things would work in their favor. You're going against a backup quarterback who's going on the road on a short week. Everything is lining up, Patriots. I do think the Patriots need this win because it might be one of the only ones they have left. And it might be the moment you can look at and say, Gerard Mayo's the right guy. It was the right call. Because right now, I think he might lose the locker room. I think there might be guys who like him but can go to him and say, I'd like the ball more. Oh, man, I'll take care of you. No problem. I do think he's a yes man at the moment because other people are in charge. I don't think he has any involvement with the offense. And quite frankly, I think he wants Drake May. So, can he take control and win this week? I want to see it. My belief is he won't. Because I watched how the offseason went. Let's burn cash, vibes, competition, all those things. I watched what Matthew Judon did. I remember the glass of orange juice that I'll bring up every day. He spilled it everywhere. You win this weekend, it's 2-3. Things cool down. The pressure cools down. You then get the Texans. Then you go on a long road trip to London with another winnable opponent. Listen, I bet the Patriots to have the least amount of wins in football this year. I think they can win this Sunday. But at the same time, they lost 34-0 last year at home to the Saints in the same spot. They're 1-9 in their last 10 at home. Can you make home field advantage matter again? 617-779-0985. Skaz is here. I'm Joe Murray. More on the Patriots if you want to get into it. There was a game today the Celtics played, and I watched it. There's some highlights from it. Of course, you can call in on the Patriots. I wanted to get into a little bit of Celtics, and we'll do that coming up next. But first, let's get your Sports Hub headlines.
Sports Hub headlines.
All right, Patriots and Dolphins square off this Sunday at Gillette Stadium. As I mentioned, Patriots are 1-point favorites. They did place David Andrews and Caden White.
Assalamu alaikum Abu Dhabi. Honor is me, Jaylen Brown, from the Boston Celtics. Shukran Listida, Fatikum Lana. On behalf of the NBA and NBA PA, Shukran Thani. Let's have a good game. Let's have a great game. Assalamu.
All right, back here 98.5, the Sports Hub. I'm Joe Murray. Get Skaz here. 4th and Friday, but we're going to take a little pause on football. As I watched the Celtics play at noontime today, and I got to tell you, I wish I could have bet on this game. I didn't. But I enjoyed watching Celtics basketball. Did I get a little green gush? Yes, I did. Little green gush today. And again, this is your daily reminder that the Boston Celtics are your world champions. And they were on display in Abu Dhabi, taking on Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets. Both teams played their starters. You saw a lot of Christian Braun. And you know what I liked about the game was there was a real good pace of starters, then the second unit, then the rookies and guys who were trying to make teams or G League guys. It all worked itself out. There were a few takeaways that I saw. And I'm not taking it away necessarily from the preseason. It's something to look at for the year. Jason Tatum's new shot. I noticed it. It didn't have that hitch. He tweaked his three-point shot. It looked just fine. Obviously, with everything that happened in the Olympics, I think it prolonged his slump. He was in a slump. Skaz and I will be the guys to tell you that you haven't seen the best Jason Tatum yet. He wanted to work on that shot. He talked about tweaking it in the offseason. And out of the gate, he wasn't too aggressive, but he set up his teammates. He had 5 assists. He was just literally not looking for a shot, had 5 assists. He can do that whenever he wants. He looked smooth. He knocked down 3 threes, including a pair, in transition. He went 3 for 7 overall from deep. I'll take that. So in the big picture, it's one game, but could it be the end of the slump? Could that be a slump buster? The confidence that the shot he's been working on all summer could be better. Could it be 36%? Could it be better than that? So that was the number one takeaway for me. But I've called Missoula ball front runner basketball. They can win a championship that way, and it's been confirmed. So pat on the back. But they averaged 43s a game. Did you see how many they took today, Skaz? Because I had to send you the number. I don't know if you were watching. So I had
this is a number I could not miss, Joe.
60.
I thought it was 61.
61?
I would call that Missoula ball.
No, Orca. It's the Orca offense.
That's some serious Orca right there, Joe.
Like for those who missed it last night, Joe Missoula is showing video of Orca killer whales grouping together to attack the seal. The seal are the rest of the NBA. They're not the targets. They're the ones hunting. That's the mentality of the Celtics. So if you thought 41 threes a game, get ready for 60. And Skaz, it's all about math, right? 40, 60, if you hit, I don't know, let's just say 20 more threes a game, and you hit 8 of them, that's 24 more points a game. The Celtics are going to be better this year, everybody. Bring on your path. Bring on your injuries. Go ahead. I've already bet back-to-back. It's in. It was in a long time ago. I didn't need to watch a preseason game to know this team's the best. So go get your Karl Anthony Towns, your Joel Embiids, and your Paul Georges. Go ahead. What I saw today was Jason Tatum trying to get better than he is. I saw Jaylen Brown yoked, backing guys down with fadeaway shots. And how about speaking Arabic before the game? We talked about it. We read the Time magazine article. It's the things he's been working on. When he came back to the bench, you should have seen all the guys on his team couldn't believe it. Remember last night I threw out, could Jaylen Brown be the captain of the team? Each team had a representative to speak, Skaz. The Celtics obviously had Jaylen Brown, but Denver had Russell Westbrook? Does that scream Denver Nuggets basketball? What? Out. Anyways, there's no doubt about it. The leader of the team is Jaylen Brown. I think it's good for the Celtics. I think it's finally. They didn't need Marcus Smart in there to be the guy. It was Jaylen Brown. Tatum will tell you he's not the vocal rah-rah guy. Somebody rose to the occasion. It was Jaylen Brown. I can only see him getting better. Tatum's shot should make him better. And Peyton Pritchard, he had 21 points off the bench. He played 24 minutes. He also had 6 assists. He looked like the best player on the court today. And if they win, is it going to be Peyton Pritchard that gets them there? No. But if they can give some guys nights off and get the production, scoring, etc., it looked pretty good. Saw a lot of Jordan Walsh today. He looked like he could shoot the 3. He knocked down 2 out of 6. He had 9 points. So there's my take on the Celtics watching today. But there was an interesting quote that we'll send to you. And, of course, if you want to get in on the Celtics, 617-779-0985. We're on YouTube as well. And I'll read the chats coming up in just a minute here. But everyone will always talk about Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. I brought up earlier this week that Giannis and Damian Lillard never worked out together in the offseason. Not once. Now, I'm sure the Nova guys got together, Skaz, probably, right? I mean, the whole Mikal Bridges to New York thing, I'm sure they've played together, but they haven't played with Karl Anthony Towns. Do you think Paul George and Joel Embiid got together this summer with Maxey? Yeah? I'm just floating it out there. Do you think they got together?
You'd hope so if you were a 76ers fan.
You would hope so. I bet you a lot of the Pacers were together this summer. I bet you Halliburton and Siakam and Nembhard and whoever else were probably working out. You know who else? The Magic. Guys, the teams I'm rolling with in the NBA going forward are the ones that are built like programs. Ones that draft guys, maybe make trades to improve their team with veterans, and have young ascending players in their prime. Although I think New York will be good in time, I don't think there's another team with a 1-2 like the Celtics. And that was one of the things that was asked today, Skaz. After the game, Jaylen Brown, there was a question about Batman and Robin. And this is what Jaylen had to say.
Playing with JT during your career, you're now kind of one of the greatest duos in the history of NBA. But when we say about duos, we usually say like a Batman and Robin type of duo, option 1, option 2 type of duos. What philosophy could you impress from your side? What kind of duo you are? Do you have a number 2 or number 1 option?
We understand like that's what the media, they emphasize and select that, but the sport is played 5-on-5. We need all of our teammates out there to contribute to help us be who we are. I think we've been able to accomplish a lot, but having great teammates as well has been able to help increase. So the sport is played 5-on-5. I know we like to highlight duos or individuals for their play, but I like to be a part of the team and uplift the team because that helps me be who I am.
Great answer. This guy's the leader, man. The team's taking on the coach's identity, and he's the leader, guys.
You're not going to catch these guys slipping this year. They're ready for everything. Every question you want to throw at them, every hypothetical, every divisive Tatum and Brown argument you try and convolute, these guys are ready. They've won the title. They have the trump card now. You could say, well, it was an easy path. Everyone got hurt. Well, guess what? They still won. They still have the trump card. And that's really, I mean, what more do you have to say? They have that confidence. They know they can win it all. I think everyone in that room is determined to do it again. And from media day earlier last week, everything these guys have said and done, I know it's very early, but they are ready to go for this season.
I think they're team-driven. Although they're individuals, every individual on that team plays a certain role. Like I mentioned, Peyton Pritchard. He's got a role. Drew Holiday has a role. Derek White has a role. They all have roles. Al Horford didn't play tonight. They didn't need him to. They don't need him.
Al can sit out till January if he wants to.
Like Neemias Queta. I don't know who this other guy was that played today. Some guy, number 14, dunked, and I popped. I'm like, who is that guy? The whole bench popped, too, by the way. I think that's the player who played for, was it the Knicks? I can't remember who it was. They drafted a guy. They brought in another guy recently. Anyways, the whole team popped when he scored. Oh, they're locked in. And just to cross this situation to maybe what's going on with the Bruins or even elsewhere, the Celtics were checking boxes individually. They've achieved all of those things. And they got over the hump and won a championship. I'm not trying to compare this to the Swayman situation, but Swayman has been checking boxes. The next box for Swayman is a contract. When is it important for him, and I mean Swayman, to look at the long view of this all? If he signs, he's a big part of the direction of the Boston Bruins, where the Celtics, they've checked all the boxes, and now the direction is repeat. Three-peat. Like it's all team and what they can do to the team to succeed, where it's like I'm looking elsewhere and it's guys checking boxes being selfish.
And Joe, if I know we're allowed to cross sports here at night, but something you had mentioned earlier this week, a player the Patriots will be seeing this weekend, a gentleman who had a ring and still opted for more money.
Tyreek Hill.
If one Jeremy Swayman opts for more money with what he's accomplished, I would think just based on what you said earlier this week, you would have to hold that against Jeremy Swayman.
Absolutely. Just to be consistent.
That's all we preach, Joe. Consistency.
And what Skaz is bringing up is Stephen A. kind of went at Tyreek Hill about, taking the money instead of staying with the Chiefs who've won 2 in a row. And in the end, it might be he thinks it's the worst decision anyone's ever made. And Skaz looked at me dead in the eye and he goes, Joe, take the money.
Yeah, he's got 135 million reasons why that's not the worst decision.
The Celtics have their money. Everyone on the Celtics has their money.
Weird how all the millionaire tax and all the
in Boston
high taxes in Boston didn't affect the Celtics at all. You don't hear anybody crying about that when the Celtics free agency comes up.
Nope. And if Swayman could get the money too and check another box, and then his next box to check would be winning a championship. So it's like one team's got to figure it out. One guy's in it for himself. Everyone on the Patriots got paid, and they suck. And the Red Sox, there's no boxes to check. That's a long-winded way of wrapping all 4 sports into the Celtics being your NBA champions. 617-779-0985. We'll take one call, then we'll. We got to have some audio that we have to play tomorrow. Let's talk with Josh is in the car. Hey, Josh.
Hey, good evening, guys. Great show. So I got 2 points about the Patriots. So my question to you is, if obviously it's apparent the team wants Drake May, they see he's the superior player. Do you think, even though their offensive line, through injuries and just from a talent standpoint, is not good, do you think that they'll kind of play up to be inspired to like, hey, we want to go to war for this guy? And my second question to you is the parallels between how the Patriots are running this organization, like Mayo not having real operational control, And again, like you guys said, there's probably other people making the decisions. This seems very almost reverse Jerry Jones-like, where the Cowboys are never going to win anything until that hack sells the team and allows the football people to run the football.
I just don't want to call him a hack. Sorry, buddy. The backwards Jerry Jones effect. You know what someone emailed me this week? Because we always get callers with great theories, and I love a good theory. I've made mention of the ML Carr Celtic season before, of just throw a guy in there and then figure it out a year later. A lot of that could happen with the Patriots. Like, I don't know, what if Nick Saban or somebody wanted to come in and take over? You'd have to think about that. So this year, that's why this Sunday is important for Mayo. Long story short of saying that's why. One more. Benny in Oxford. Hey, Benny.
Hey, what's going on, Joe?
Hey, buddy.
Happy to see the Celtics play today. Real quick, the only thing I wanted to see different, I hope Lonnie Walker gets a chance to run with the actual second unit.
Dude, I thought it was Terry Rozier. I thought it was Terry Rozier when I saw him.
I'm like, yeah, they do similar build, similar haircuts. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Hey, you know what I was thinking about? Maybe Jaden Springer would be someone who plays well, and you can move maybe on from him for a second-round pick or 2 second-round picks to kind of free up that space. So if you add Lonnie Walker, it's at least a lower number than Springer.
I agree with that. I like that move. Yeah, I'm just hoping Sunday. They play against Sunday, right? I think it's Sunday.
Yes.
So I'm hoping they could play Lonnie Walker with Pritchard Hauser, how that second unit would look if he does make the team.
Good point.
With the actual.
Good point. It's something to look forward to, Benny. Appreciate you, bud.
Yeah,
thank you.
No problem.
Yep, good point. I did see Lonnie out there. He looked like Rozier. He really did. On the other side, I had a reaction last night. It's baseball related. We'll let you hear what happened in live time last night. We'll do that coming up next here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. Quick, smelly. It's Joe Mullet on the Sports Hub.
All right, back here at 98.5 The Sports Hub. I'll give you two bets for tonight that I like. And then I'll tell you about a bet I hit last night. I'm taking Syracuse +6 tonight against UNLV. As you know, the Matt Sluka story, UNLV's quarterback has redshirted. Their quarterback last week, ho-hum, rushed for over 100 yards and threw for 3 touchdowns. And they smoked. I think there's a recency bias here. I like what Syracuse has done. Give me the +6. I also like the over in that one. So there you go. Syracuse and the over. That's my bet. I had a baseball bet last night. The reason why I took this bet was because since the wild card era has begun, teams that won game 1 are now 12-0, winning series. So the Mets won game 1, they lose game 2. So what happened in game 3? They're down 2-0. They're down 2-0. The 11-0 streak is on the line. I had the Mets. Of course, the Mets would be the one team to break it, right? They'd be the one team. And then this happened live on air. Let's hear it, guys. 24 players have more receiving yards than the Patriots' entire receiving core. Oh, and Ramondre Stevenson can't stop fumbling the football. You gotta be kidding me right now. Wow! You gotta be kidding me! The Mets! The Miracle Mets have taken the 3-2 lead! The Miracle Mets! 9th inning! Backs against the wall! Down 2-0! Up 3-2 right now!
A 3-run bomb from a much maligned man in New York over this past season, Pete Alonso.
Pete Alonso! Meet the Mets. Meet the Mets. Dum, da, da, dum, dum, dee, da, do. Oh, it was not looking good at all, Skaz. It was not looking good at all. I just saw Skaz's arms raised in the air. And I looked up, and I saw Pete Alonso go opposite field for a 3-run homer. Right over the yellow line in the wall. Brewers trail 3-2 right now. Woo! The Bucks are up at halftime. Pete Alonso. I feel like Mad Dog right now. Say something. Say something. I'll wrap up the show here on the other side. That was all real time, everybody. Say something. Mad Dog Murray. Say something. Woo! You know, that thing, yeah. You got to save that one. Woo! I'd like you to put that one up against Beetle and Zoe's when Hunter Henry signed in free agency. Remember they bumped bellies? Woo! What a moment, though. Woo! Haven't had one in a while. There was one from years ago Jeremy always used to pull out. It was when Anthony Brown was the quarterback at BC. He was a freshman. Say something. And out of nowhere, I just go, and a touchdown from the freshman. Say something. Mad Dog Murray. You know what's funny? I don't care about the rest of the baseball playoffs anymore. That was all I needed. And by the way, I didn't see the end of the Bucks game. I got home. I'm like, all right, they're up 30-27. I'll just, yeah, okay. And then I went to move from the chair to the bed, and I saw that they lost, and I just say something. But all say something. See, Mad Dog. Oh, jeez. Joe. It's a good win. Who knows, guys? We got to take out Syracuse tonight. See how it goes. I love watching the games live. They're great. Good thing I wasn't on when the kicker missed against the Cowboys last week. Oh, that was... Anyways, what do we have coming up next here? Well, we're going to talk to Julian Edlow at 7:20. He's from DraftKings, so we'll get his thoughts what's going on in the NFL this week and college football for that matter. And I wanted to get into just Christian Gonzalez and his week. He had a chance to talk to one Richard Sherman. So we'll hear his thoughts, and he goes up against a tough duo. We'll do that next here on the Sports Hub.
From the Town Fair Tire Studio, the Patriots.
Yes.
Into the end zone. Touchdown for the Patriots. WBC FM and HD Boston 98.5. The Sports Hub, a Beasley Media Group station. Sports Hub headlines.
All right, Patriots and Dolphins will square off this Sunday over at Gillette Stadium. Patriots injury report is out. Only player doubtful is Sione Takitaki. A bunch of players questionable, but they did place Caden Wallace, and they placed David Andrews on injured reserve. They did say Wallace may come back this year. Some other NFL news. No Taylor for the Colts. Malik Neighbor is out for the Giants. There was some preseason basketball today, though. The defending world NBA champions. Celtics got a 107-103 come-from-behind win led by Peyton Pritchard's big day. The Patriots end their preseason. Not the Patriots. The Bruins end their preseason tomorrow. Headlines, they are brought to you by Awaken Winning Weight Loss with a 98% customer satisfaction rating and thousands of 5-star reviews. You, too, will succeed. AwakenWinning-Weightloss.com. I'm Joe Murray. Next update soon.
To us, Boston pride runs deep. I'm a Bostonian. This is Boston's home for sports. Bow, bow, bow. 98.5, the Sports Hub.
I said AJ. AJ's up there. AJ Brown for sure. He got all the tools. He's strong, fast, smart. He understands football, and I think a lot of people don't give him as much credit for how quick he is, especially being that size. That that doesn't really get put into his game plan, or not his game plan, but his traits. Everybody just talks about how big he is and how fast he is, but he's real explosive and real quick, and he can get in and out of his breaks real fast. So he's a tough receiver for sure.
All right, back here 98.5 The Sports Hub. I'm Joe Murray. That's Christian Gonzalez, who I don't hear talk a lot. A lot of cornerbacks that are really good are, they have a lot of swag, right? They're confident. They, around here, Ty Law, right? One of the baddest guys on the team. Talk trash to Tom Brady all practice long. Corners have a swag. I think the one corner here that really didn't talk that was real good was Stephon Gilmore. And whenever I see Christian Gonzalez, he reminds me of him at times. Maybe it's because of his personality. What do you think, Scott?
I don't remember Revis being a huge talker.
You know what? Maybe was Revis Island his creation, or was that like a
media
self-proclaimed? Because I don't know if it's self-proclaimed or that's what I mean. Did he talk? You know what's funny? I don't remember it, at least.
But no, Gilmore's a good one because he was a pretty quiet guy.
Gilmore was quiet.
Very
Revis,
quiet.
I don't remember Revis talking, but maybe he did with the Jets. Because I think he was like a leader on that team or whatever, and I think he was with the Bucks for a year. Didn't really work out. If you think about it, the Pats kind of took him out of obscurity, brought him back. I guess my point is that this kid's kind of a twig. He's small. He's going to be playing his 8th true game in his career. And the comment there was, he was asked by Richard Sherman, who's a great corner. Another big talker, right? Richard Sherman, there's one. But Gonzalez singled out A.J. Brown when he talked about the toughest receiver to guard. Well, that's one thing I wouldn't do this week. I'll praise Christian Gonzalez for the way he plays. He can play well in the running game, too. I'll admit that. And for the most part, he's given up one touchdown. I think it was to Garrett Wilson when he was in zone. I guess he's credited with giving up the touchdown. They were in zone. He chased for the ball and whatever. Touchdown. He's been fine. The defense, though, hasn't been. And I think he has to take on an extended role now without Kyle Duggar. It's probably going to be Peppers and Hawkins. I wonder if there's a third safety this week. They're kind of thin out there. That's why Waddle and Hill scare me a bit. Who's covering Jalen Waddle this week, guys? Who do you think? Waddle plays the slot, right? So you would think Marcus Jones? I'd love to watch that race. Can we bet on that? Both of them in a 40-yard dash would win. I'd probably go Marcus Jones. But there's a history of Tyreek Hill, Jonathan Jones. Like, there's a history. Jones has done well. Now, I'm not saying Tyreek Hill has sucked, but there's been games where they've been able to control Tyreek Hill. I'm wondering if they're going to try to push the ball downfield. Huntley. And I did see that maybe Odell Beckham Jr. may be activated for the game. Let's throw him now into the mix. Hill, Waddle, Odell Beckham Jr. If they want to go 4 wide, Braxton Berrios is their others. They got the car crash kid. I mean, at least their running game has been, A-Chain's been good, by the way. It's Mostert that hurts teams. I've been asking it all week. Where are the Patriots better than the Dolphins? It is not at defensive cornerback and wide receiver. Can Tyler Huntley use his legs, his feet, to try to move around in the pocket because the Patriots don't have a good pass rush? Let's just call it what it is. Keon White's been somewhat taken out of the mix of late. Can Huntley move around a bit and find Waddle and Hill for the yards after catch, even if it's Odell Beckham Jr. and another big body? I'm curious to see. I know that Gonzalez and Jones and all these guys are up for the challenge. But when it comes to winning games, I know that Hill hasn't done much since Tua's been out. Waddle's at least made some sort of an impact. I still look at that as something that can beat the Patriots this week. They cut Tim Boyle today, right? Who's their backup now? They're going to have Skylar Thompson back there again? Is that what they're doing today? Oh, jeez. And the Patriots beat Skylar Thompson, right? At the end of the year, 2 years ago? If I remember. I still think that Waddle, Hill, A-Chain, I think they can score on this Patriots defense. I do. Can the Patriots score on the Dolphins? That's the question. And if you look at the numbers, Dolphins, less points than Pats. Did you look those up? I'm sorry. I know you were.
Skylar Thompson played the Patriots on January 1st, 2023. The Patriots won 23-21.
That was the last game of the year. 2-point favorites.
Real barn burner.
I remember that game. All right, well, we're going to talk to Julian. But you got a take on that? You worried about Waddle or Hill this week?
I mean, obviously you're worried about him, but it's all about the guy getting him the ball. And Tyler Huntley has not been good so far. We'll see what he looks like, with another week under his belt, McDaniel's offense. I just, even if Tyler Huntley is okay, the Patriots should be able to, no, they've done a good job on Hill in the past. I feel like Jonathan Jones has done a good job in the past. So you just can't let those guys beat you. I mean, that was the thing Belichick preached for years, is don't let one player beat you. And we all know Tyreek Hill is a planet player, and he's a guy that can do that. So maybe that's just another thing to look for this week with Mayo. How does Mayo game plan to take away Tyreek Hill, and is it effective? Just another question mark we have going into the game because we don't know yet. We don't know what Gerard Mayo is going to do to take away Tyreek Hill.
I'm interested. Tyreek Hill versus Jonathan Jones. I've seen it. I've seen it before. Can they do it again this week? We're going to talk to Julian Edlow. I want to get his thoughts on some of these big college football games this week. Some big ones next week, by the way. Ohio State, Oregon. I already saw the line, Skaz. Oregon's a 2-point dog at home. And maybe there's some stuff on DraftKings we can bet tonight. So let's pull out our apps. Pull it out, baby. Talk to Julian Edlow next here on the Sports Hub.
You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5. Hub. Solak and Bertrand get you through the midday. Joe Murray gets you right through the night.
I actually spoke with women today.
On the Sports Hub.
All right, back here, 98.5 The Sports Hub. I'm Joe Murray. We're here until 10 o'clock tonight. Skaz is here. I've already given out a pick for tonight. 2, actually. Same game, though. And over on the DraftKings Sportsbook app, you can do same-game parlays. And if you're a new customer, you can download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now, use promo code SportsHub, and use the promotion that they have. Joining us right now on the Volkswagen Dealers Expert Hotline is Julian Edlow of DraftKings. Julian, how you doing, bro?
I'm good, Joe. How about you?
Good. I wanted to bring an expert on. That's what I'm calling you, an expert here, because you're on the Volkswagen.
I appreciate it.
You're on the Volkswagen.
Some say analyst, some say expert.
Yeah, analyst, expert, betting guy.
Betting guy, that works.
I like betting guy too. The Patriots are favored. The Patriots were not favored in any game on the look ahead. They're favored this week. Before you break it down, why do you think the number is 1 when it opened to pick 'em and the look ahead line was the Dolphins 3? And how can they determine it with both quarterbacks struggling, backups on the road, short weeks? What are your thoughts on the line, and should the Patriots be favored?
Yeah, this is one where both teams have been so unimpressive the last couple of weeks. I think, I don't want to speak for my colleagues in the DraftKings trading room, but I think everybody just kind of looks at each other and they're like, these two teams stink right now. Who do you think's going to win? I don't know. Who do you think's going to win? I don't know. All right, pick them. Let's put it on the board and see where it goes. Obviously, I understand why Miami was favored on the look ahead. I bet on Miami on Monday night against Tennessee. I thought Tyler Huntley, respectable veteran quarterback that's made some starts, should be able to put something together with that Miami offense. I was dead wrong. He looked dreadful. And, when you saw what we saw on Monday night, then you got to move Miami and move that number in terms of how they're ranked. So 2 very untrustworthy offenses. Total sitting at 36 last I looked. I think we'll get some field goals. Maybe you want to play a prop on total field goals in the game over, but I would be looking at the under in the game and flip a coin if you want me to pick a winner. I have no idea. These teams have looked dreadful lately.
Well, any under that's been under 40 this year is 7-3 so far. So that's on the side of it. But do you think that the Patriots are better than the Dolphins at any position?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think they have some edges on defense. I think they have some edges on defense, and that would be it. Because obviously, offensively, running backs advantage Miami. Wide receivers, about as large an advantage you could have Miami. Offensive line, anyone has an advantage over the Patriots. Quarterback, wash. I don't know. What we saw from Huntley the other night, exactly. I was going to say wash. And when the quarterback play is as bad as it's been from these two quarterbacks and it's a wash, it makes it difficult to bet. But the other thing is, if you're going to say, Joe, Miami has clear advantages, the advantage at wide receiver is as large a gap as you could have in the NFL, essentially. But the inability of the quarterback to get those guys the ball takes that advantage away. So, that's why, if with Tua in this game, we're probably looking at a 7-point spread. And without him, guys that can't get Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle the ball, it makes it a lot tougher to price.
Going to be interesting. -1 right now. Patriots favored total at 37. I know you have a bunch of other bets up over at DraftKings. One I wanted to ask you about, what do you think about Caleb Williams this year? And the other flip side of it, Bryce Young gets benched for Andy Dalton. They lost last week, but he's put up 60 points in 2 games. Do they have a shot this week as dogs?
I do like Carolina. I like Carolina +4 at Chicago. Don't love what I've seen from the Bears. Obviously, one of the bad beats of the season will probably go down as week 1 if you back the Titans against the Bears, and the Bears ultimately pulled out that comeback victory without an offensive touchdown. So the Bears stole one there, and then last week they get away with beating a really bad Rams team who just has, a Patriots-esque offensive line and a bad defense right now. So Chicago's 2 wins are pretty fluky. They've looked pretty poor in the other games. I think Bryce Young was playing about as bad as you can play quarterback. Carolina's got a top 5 pass protection offensive line. Andy Dalton's been showing that he's a professional, capable quarterback back there, getting the ball to his guys, putting some points on the board. And I think Chicago's due for a little bit of regression coming off that win. So I do like Carolina taking the points in Chicago on Sunday.
All right, we're talking Julian Edlow. He's from DraftKings. I've been doing crazy, greasy parlays, man.
Can't resist them, huh?
Well, I did hit Juju Smith-Schuster to score a touchdown on Sunday Night Football 2 weeks ago for plus 1,200.
I saw that one.
Yeah,
that'll feed the bankroll a little bit.
Yeah. So there you go. That's where all this is coming from now. I wanted to ask you about the Cowboys and Steelers game. Cowboys on the road. We know about Dak Prescott and the Cowboys' struggles. They didn't cover last week because of that stupid kicker. Anyways, but yes, now they go on the road against the 3-1 Steelers. Why do I like the Steelers? Who do you like?
Oh, yeah, love the Steelers on Sunday Night Football. Just a good spot. Pittsburgh off a loss. They were really sloppy in that game in Indy. Some bad turnovers. Got deep into Indy territory multiple times. Came away with nothing. Dallas really shorthanded for the game. Micah Parsons out. Dexter Lawrence out. And then we get word Brandon Cooks out. Not going to be opposite CeeDee Lamb, so a little bit thinner at wide receiver. A lot of guys out. There you go, Joe, for Dallas. And Dallas has a very poor run defense. What does Pittsburgh do? They run the ball. I think they'll find. And now, Jalen Warren and Cordero Patterson have been ruled out for this game. 2 guys that run the ball for Pittsburgh. But I'm not concerned. I'm good with it. I think Pittsburgh moves the ball on Dallas and finds a way to win that game at home. And on defense, I expect Pittsburgh to be solid.
All right, Julian. I want to. Oh, you got any prop bets? Any prop bets that you like this week in the NFL?
Yeah, keeping it in the Pittsburgh game. I was just going up to DraftKings Sportsbook to look because the rushing props have been off the board on the Pittsburgh side because of that injury news. But we got it. No Warren and no Cordero Patterson. So Najee Harris, it looks like he's settling in the high 60s. It's got to be him. He's got to run the show. He has not been living up to expectations in terms of what he's getting on the ground so far for Pittsburgh, but the opportunities and the volume have been there. If there's a defense to get it against, it's on Sunday night against Dallas when you have to be the workhorse guy. So sticking in that same game, I will take Najee Harris rushing yards over. And then another one in Green Bay. Josh Jacobs started the season going for 80-something yards against the Eagles. He had over 150 yards against the Colts. And then he started sharing time a little bit with Wilson in the Green Bay backfield. I think this is the perfect matchup to get him back on track. His over-under in terms of rushing attempts is 14.5, so I think 15-plus carries is a pretty solid workload, reasonable workload to expect for Jacobs. And he's going up against a Rams defense allowing the most rushing yards in the NFL. Road favorites there for the Green Bay Packers. Josh Jacobs over 63.5 rushing yards. I also like a lot.
All right, Julian Edlow's here. DraftKings. I already got some stuff going for tonight. I got Syracuse tonight. I got it at 6. I know there was some 7s out there, but I got it at 6. All right, a couple of games I got to ask you about. I can't figure out Texas A&M, Missouri. I think Missouri's the better team. Texas A&M's a tough place to play. I hate their. I don't know who's playing quarterback, but if it's the Mac Jones looking guy, I don't want him. So I feel
it's not going to be. It's going to be Marcel Reed for Texas A&M.
Because the other guy was a Whiteman. He stinks. But I like Missouri this week.
I'm with you. I took the 2.5 points with Missouri. I just can't get there with Texas A&M, and Marcel Reed's been an upgrade over Connor Wegman. Dual threat quarterback. This will be the toughest test for Missouri. Missouri hosted BC. BC was leading that game for a while before Missouri came back and won. Missouri hasn't played great competition, and they've been playing at home. So now they're going to go on the road, play the best competition yet. I understand why Texas A&M is favored. Texas A&M just doesn't do it for me. I don't get it with Texas A&M. Solid defense, sure, but even with Reed, they just continue to unimpress me. So I'll say this. Like Kyle Field, some places is ranked as the hardest place to play in college football, the most difficult road atmosphere. I guess my hot college football take is I just don't see it. I don't get why Texas A&M is the most difficult place to play. I understand that Alabama had a couple of down games there with Nick Saban, so maybe Jimbo Fisher at the time at home with Saban coming on the road gave some problems. But overall, I don't see why Texas A&M gets this huge home field advantage that they do. I think Missouri's the better team. I'll take the points. They got the veteran quarterback and Brady Cook coming back, veteran receiver group, and Texas A&M's pass defense hasn't been anything special. I think they'll move the ball through the air.
All right, and then one other game I wanted to talk to you about. It's a rematch of the national championship. Michigan, Washington, it's completely different coaches, teams, players, you name it. Misses Michigan's first road game. I watched Washington last week, and I bet them, and the stupid kicker missed it. Anyways, they're back now at home. Steve Belichick on defense, Jed Fish. How is Michigan's quarterback going to go on the road and put any offense in? I love Washington this week, and it's 1.5, which scares me a little bit. The money's probably on Washington. What side are you on?
Love Washington. Favorite play of the weekend. And in terms of betting splits, I think we still have, last I looked, around 3/4 of the bets coming in on Michigan. So people are betting Michigan, but the larger wagers are on the Washington side. Again, you said it, national championship game rematch. All the big names are gone. Both head coaches gone. Both quarterbacks, top 10 picks in the NFL, and plenty of talented players that were their teammates were taken behind them. That said, there's still a lot of players returning on the Washington side that played in that game, and people that remember these games as fan bases. Washington fan base is pissed off about losing the national championship game to Michigan. Where's the game? It's at Washington. So I think that it'll be a hyped-up building. I think that Washington, you want to talk home field advantages, will have a fantastic home field advantage on Saturday night, bringing Michigan in there. And like you said, Joe, Michigan hasn't played on the road yet. Michigan can't move the ball through the air. They can run it, sure, but Washington is a solid team on both sides of the ball. The real edge that I see here for Washington, say what you want about Michigan, they don't defend the pass well. They haven't all season. They can stop the run and they can run the ball, and that's how they stay in games. They can't defend the pass. And Will Rogers can throw the ball. We've seen that even in the losing effort that you're talking about at Rutgers, where the kicker didn't just miss one. The kicker missed 3, and Washington failed on a 4th and goal at the 1 or 2 yard line to get it into the end zone. They left probably double-digit points on the table in that game. I think Washington's offense is going to be sharp, ready to go off that Friday night Rutgers loss. And I think Michigan's going to be in over their head. They're a very overrated team going opposite coast on the road Saturday night. Huskies' favorite play of the weekend for me.
Just real quick, another game tonight's Oregon. They're taking on Michigan State. I don't want to hold you to any bets. I'm on the look ahead here. Oregon has Ohio State 23.5. Oregon's got Michigan State 23.5, and then obviously Ohio State. They're big favorites, and who are they taking on? Iowa. Any look at any of the underdogs in the spot in the look ahead spot? And I already saw that Ohio State was -2 on the road next week.
Yeah, Iowa keeps taking money. I'm leaving both games alone because I think it's a huge look ahead spot. The numbers are really shrinking on Ohio State. I guess I'm getting a little interested there. Ohio State played Michigan State, who Oregon has tonight, and Ohio State put up 38 points in that one, won 38-7 on the road. in theory, Michigan State coming out west to Oregon Friday night should be a tough spot, but I'm passing on both of those, and I'll see where we land next week. If I know everybody loves Ohio State because of that start that Oregon had to the season. If I can get Oregon catching 3 points at home in Eugene next week, I like the improvements I've seen from the Ducks the last few weeks. I would be looking Oregon's way in that. But as far as this week, I'm passing on both those ones. They should have runaway winners and be able to kind of keep some plays off the table, save them for next week.
Clemson, Florida State, any action?
Yes, I did lay the 14
right,
with
good.
Clemson. I think we're 14.5 or 15. But
I did too.
Yeah, I see why it's like going to be a square public play, and we're up to 15 now on DraftKings Sportsbook. Clemson's been looking better and better each week. FSU's been looking worse and worse as the season goes on. But, and I'm not a Dabo guy. I don't really like Dabo at all, but he hates FSU. Before last year when FSU came up to Clemson, won that game by 3, Clemson had beat FSU 7 straight times. 3 or 4 of them were by wide margins. During the COVID season, Clemson went down to FSU 2 hours before the game. FSU canceled the game because a backup Clemson lineman had COVID, and they didn't feel safe playing the game. Dabo went off on them then.
That's right. I remember this.
If Dabo can stick it to FSU, he will. And if there's a year to do it, it's this year. He's got a pretty good team, and FSU is just bad. So I think Dabo, don't like him personally, but he's going to run this one up.
All right, Julian. I heard rumor on the street is that you might be going out to a steak dinner tomorrow.
Yeah, you got good sources.
Yes.
You got good sources. Mr. Dan Lifshatz, CT Bets, Chris Thurston. You can hear them. I'll promote your shows for you. I assume they're both on tomorrow morning.
Correct.
They got their spot. I want to say it's 7:40 a.m. So you'll get some bets from those two then, and then hopefully they don't get too sleepy from getting up early because I got dinner with them. It's important.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be watching the Washington game. We all got Washington.
Wow, that's a trip. Whoa, the boat's heavy, huh? The boat's
Indeed.
The boat is heavy. You hear that, Skaz? The boat's heavy on Washington tomorrow.
It's my favorite bet of the weekend, NFL or college. Washington money line.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go Huskies.
These parlays on DraftKings, dude. Do you ever just do a real gross, greasy parlay?
Not often, and I know obviously it's a big part of our business, and that's how it works. But honestly, if you want to, I get where we're at in the terms of sports betting. There's no reason to. What does it cost to go out for a movie and have dinner for 2 in 2024? $200?
Yeah.
If you want your Friday night to be at home, order a pizza and throw $100 on a wild parlay. I get that's how it works. It's a form of entertainment now as well. So I'm all for it. And the other thing that I'll say is you don't have to have these big greasy parlays that you're like, oh, I want 20 to 1. I put one out today. I think, places like DraftKings Sportsbook give you the flexibility to bet things a lot of ways that haven't been there in the past. So Boise State, odds-on favorite to win the Mountain West. Liberty, odds-on favorite to win their conference. You can just parlay those two teams just to reach their conference title game, not even win it, just reach it. It was minus 128. These are teams that were heavy, heavy favorites. So there's ways to do it that I think can be a little less greasy, let's say.
Well, I took my buddy Genty to win the Heisman at one point.
What'd you get him at?
It was plus 600 or something, 700 at the time.
No, better than that. He was 10 to 1 earlier in the week. You got to be better than that.
I think that's what it was. I have a ticket from somewhere. No, he was 10 to 1.
Last I looked, we have his rushing prop at 196 yards this week.
Yeah,
it's the highest rushing prop I've ever seen.
Yeah, his score touchdown was minus 4,000 or something.
Correct.
He's the best running back I've seen in college, probably since Saquon.
Yeah, he's good.
Bijan maybe.
Yep. I mean, there's guys like this every couple years, but he's got some juice. I like the way he runs.
Yep. All right, Julian, good catching up, man. Enjoy the steak dinner tomorrow. Tell the boys I said hello. And, of course, you can read all of Julian's stuff at DraftKings. DK Network is where you guys post all your content. Is that correct?
There you go. DK Network. We got stuff coming out all week. NFL, college football, hoops right around the corner. NBA and college hoops.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to be getting those going soon.
You sharpening your pencil already for that?
I'm sharpening my pencil. Here, I'll give one really quick. I swear I'll be 30 seconds.
Oh, go ahead.
Haven't given this one out in terms of DK Network, in terms of Twitter, anything. We just put conference winner odds for the 4 major conferences in college hoops up today. I think Indiana might be the best team in the Big Ten. Purdue's favored, but at like plus 500, big conference. But Zach Edey's gone. They're good, but the Edey factor was insane for them.
Yep.
Indiana brought in Miles Rice, star point guard from Washington State. Omar Ballo, the big dude from Arizona, like a legitimate force in the middle, to go with a lot of good players they already have there. I think Indiana's got a chance to be the best team in the Big Ten. They're plus 650 to have the best regular season, or to win the Big Ten in the regular season. That's the first college hoops thing I got my eye on.
Just real quick, I watched the Celtics today. I've already bet them to go back-to-back at plus. I got it at 280. It's now 310.
Yeah, the Knicks move changed things a little bit.
When do you think that? Should I just keep laying that every time it gets above 310?
I don't necessarily know when it's going to get much better, unless Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown were injured long term.
Yeah.
They've got the best team. They now have the experience of winning it. They have the deepest team, I think. I don't love what the Knicks did necessarily. I think Julius Randle, whatever. I think Dante DiVincenzo is a dog. Like the way he plays, shooter. He's going to play defense. He's going to give you effort. Karl Anthony Towns has his effort and hustle, and he has all that questioned all the time. That's going to be your center. Isaiah Hartenstein was your hustle guy, your double-double guy, left for OKC. Love that move for OKC, but and you bring Bridges into the mix. I get all the Knicks hype, but I think they're going to be. I think there's going to be some adjusting. I wasn't initially interested in that opening Celtics-Knicks game, banner night. Celtics could be a little emotional. I was going to pass on that game. I like laying 4.5 with the Celtics now, with the Knicks kind of adjusting, finding out how to play with Towns. Towns is a little soft, in my opinion, so that Knicks move actually kind of pushed me towards the Celtics side of that opener.
Now I'm doing bets for October 22nd,
Yeah, man, we're almost there.
October 22nd, Celtics minus 4.5 lay. It says Julian Edlow of DraftKings. Julian, enjoy your weekend, man. Appreciate your time.
All right, anytime, Joe.
You got it. He's Julian Edlow, DraftKings, DK Network. He can do it all, everybody. He can do it all. I can do it all, too. And we got the headlines coming up next. Skaz is here, too. You're listening to where? 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Sports Hub headlines.
All right, Patriots preparing for the Dolphins this Sunday, and everybody's questionable, but Sione Takitaki. Wow. Sione.
Tell him I sent you.
Around here, we call them the Joe Murray Pre-Party. It's Felger and Maz afternoons right now. Joe Murray on the Sports Hub.
All right, we got In or Out coming up at the next segment. Thank you to Julian Edlow joining us. I got a lot. See, guys, it's great talking like bets with somebody who knows what they're talking about. It's refreshing. If you don't like it on the radio, I apologize. But I'm not sorry. 617-779-0985. You like that segment?
Yeah, I mean, I just sit back here with my app open and I just scroll and listen to the boys.
Just grab the pencil.
Guess I'm on Washington this week, Joe.
Just keep sharpening that
I'm getting
pencil,
on that
baby.
heavy boat. I don't know if that boat's going to sink, but I'm getting on it.
Me and Lifshat's are on that boat. If you want to join, Julian's on. Chris is on. You want to join this room? Jeremy's in Hopedale. What's up, Jeremy?
Hey, Joe. How's it going?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing all right. My bet tonight, so I'm going to go like you. I was going to go Syracuse. I'm going to take them to win, and I'm going to take the over at 55.5. But I really want to know what do you think about Michigan State? Do you think they have a chance tonight? They have the right game plan, keep it slow, stop the run. What do you think?
Michigan State has turned the ball over 2 or more times in 3 straight games, so that concerns me against an Oregon team. The only thing I really have on this one is I think Oregon should roll. They do have Ohio State next week, and sometimes on these look-aheads, they pull off in the second half because they want guys healthy for the following week.
Sounds good, Joe. Thanks for your take.
All right,
have a good night.
I appreciate it. By the way, I have Syracuse +6, not money line, just in case anybody. But I think UNLV does go down tonight. I think they go down tonight. Gabe's in West Roxbury. Gabe hooked us up with Moody last night, anytime touchdown, and he had 2 of them. So what do you got tonight for us, bud?
Hey, Joe, thanks a lot. And over yards, he killed it over 100 too.
That's right, yeah.
So I want to give for the Jets and Vikings. It's the morning game. I like the Vikings. I like the anytime touchdown by Naylor. It's +450, so you throw just a little on it, and under 40.5. And then with the Patriots game, I'm going to give a UFC pick too. And then just with the Patriots game, obviously the under, but I think Waddle will have a decent game because I feel like they will not double cover, but have a safety with Tyreek, leaving Waddle one-on-one. So I would like Waddle over receiving yards and maybe anytime touchdown at 50 yards +180. Or you can do 30 yards at +110. And then for UFC, I just Alex Pereira, the champion, the odds for him to win are just so high. If you want to just do like a sprinkle on him to win by submission, +1,400 is great.
Whoa.
Or
I could bet a guy to win. I could win a submission at +1,400.
Yeah, with Pereira, because he's it's like knockout. Because for him to win by knockout is still -300. So decision, there's no way these 2 are going to last 5 rounds.
So Alex Pereira, the line right now, he's a favorite -455 to win. I could take the over 1.5 rounds at -135. You think it goes over?
Over
1.5.
Yes.
Okay, and you like Pereira, but you think that you should take him. The winning method should be by submission. Whoa! Yeah, you're right. +1,400.
Yeah. See,
Oh, that's greasy. I like it.
Yeah. So,
Skaz, you see this? Plus 1,400 for submission. Pereira. Holy
and remember,
smokes.
he can remember, like, the big thing is knockout, but he can not, like, and not just him, but, you can knock him down, jump on the back, get the neck, easy. So,
right.
to have
I just took it. I'm in.
Awesome. All right, real quick.
Yep.
And then Antonio Gibson over yards and an anytime touchdown. Gibson I like this week. Sorry. Had to throw that in there.
Gibson for the Patriots anytime.
Anytime. And I would take the rushing and receiving plus yards over.
So rushing props right now. Ramondre's all right. So let's see here.
Let me pull it up too.
I got it right here. All right, I'm listening. I got this. I just locked in submission plus 1,400 for Pereira.
Okay, and then wait about the rounds bet. Did you place that yet or
Not
no?
yet. Nope, not yet.
Okay. I don't really do rounds. So wait, for it to go into the second round halfway.
Yeah, it's got to go
the
halfway through this. Yeah, exactly. It doesn't have to make it to the second, but it has to get halfway through the second.
What's the under on that, if you don't mind?
It was plus money. I don't have it in front of me right now.
If you have a buck or two, throw it on the under 1.5 rounds.
Okay. Thank you, Gabe. Stay hot, kid.
Awesome.
Appreciate you.
Thanks, Joe.
I didn't realize this was turning into a bet. You know what, guys? Let's do it around at the top of the hour. Why not? People want to talk. Michael's in West Roxbury. Hey, Michael.
Hey, this is Michael. I just wanted to talk about this UNLV Syracuse game.
Yes.
Because I'm interested in that Mountain West Conference and Boise versus UNLV.
Yep.
And so I think the Q's, the Orange, can get it done tonight. I
took Syracuse at 6.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I took the over as well, 55.
Okay. Yeah, I think Syracuse has the offense to put up numbers like that.
Yeah, I just feel like the line's too heavy. Like it's a recency bias based off of UNLV's success. And now this quarterback that nobody saw in 1 week, now they got some tape on him, and I like Syracuse.
Exactly.
All right, we're on the same page.
That's basically what I wanted to talk about. Thank you.
Thank
Keep
you,
it
Michael.
up.
Appreciate you. Okay, who know the betting segment came in? David is in Abington. Hi, David.
Hey, guys, and I'm also Syracuse +6 myself. Okay. I like that tonight. So me and a buddy of mine were talking about, I don't know if you remember the football cards from way back in the day.
Yeah.
So we still play one local. Grew up in East Boston. It's in our blood.
I got you.
So we were having a little talk. So I'm looking at the lines this week for the bet lines. The Ravens going into Cincinnati -2. Mm-hmm. And I'm looking at the teams, and my buddy's like, Cincinnati, they have to win the game. I'm like, even if they play their best, even if Cincinnati this year plays their best, the Ravens are 2-2. I'm having trouble figuring out how the Ravens on a walk at -2. I was wondering if maybe you might be able to impart something that I'm missing.
They played on Sunday Night Football. Obviously, the Bengals are terrible at stopping the run, but the Bengals have had success against the Ravens in that division. I personally like the Bengals this week because everybody would think Derrick Henry's going to run. They start 0-2. They win 2 in a row, right? I like the Bengals this week.
Oh, this is killing me because we bet a quarter, a real quarter, but it's the principle. It means way more than the quarter.
Yeah,
we bet a quarter on this game, me and my best friend. Oh,
David,
man.
I got you, bro. Yeah. I know. I feel you, bro.
Listen,
we're here
thanks a lot, guys.
We're here every night. Lindsay on the Cape. Hi, Lindsay.
Joe, how's it going, brother?
How you doing?
Good. I'm just calling about the Pereira bet. I'm a big UFC fan, and I mean, it looks good, but the reason it looks good is because they have a gentleman's agreement that they're not going to shoot on each other.
Okay. Well, for $10, I'll get 140 if it happens.
All right, brother. Well, good luck with that.
Who do you like?
And I'm on Syracuse. I like Syracuse tonight too, but I took a point. I'm taking +7.
Yeah, I've noticed that the line moved a little bit on that one. All right, buddy.
Yeah. I like going over the magic numbers.
There you go, buddy. Thank you. Captain Caveman, how are you, sir?
All of a sudden, I started getting the shakes. I'm like, I think Joe's talking about bets on the radio, so I got to call in.
How you doing?
How you been?
It's been a while.
Wanted to, I know that everyone's talking about the big, this game with Michigan State tonight and the look aheads and whatnot, but I learned from you and Dan that numbers matter. And I think there's a big difference between the 24.5 and the 23.5.
Yep.
I was able to get the 24.5. It's the same number Michigan State had against Ohio State, and they were covering until late.
Yep.
I think Oregon's been playing down the competition. I think that's okay. Speaking of numbers, I also got a 21 for Iowa versus Ohio State.
See, I like that.
So
I think Iowa's respectable.
I learned that from you. Numbers matter.
Numbers. Sometimes it ain't about the team; it's about the number.
Absolutely.
That's why I'm taking the Bengals this weekend.
Exactly. But I will ask you one question. There are two games in the SEC.
Yes.
With Georgia and Ole Miss coming off crushing losses, right? Both of them now can smack somebody around. But which one do you think has the best chance?
Georgia.
Of getting the bounce back and covering the number?
Georgia.
Miss?
I don't love the 22.
Georgia.
I don't love the 22, but I think Georgia comes back with a vengeance. Auburn stinks. And plus, they had a chance last week and blew it. Ole Miss, though, if I wanted just to set it up, remember South Carolina was at home, had LSU. They had a big lead. LSU came back. LSU won but didn't cover. So that was 14. Now this is 8.5. So I think it's a little bit closer.
I think LSU is a bit sloppier than Ole Miss is.
Yep.
Not the last game notwithstanding, but I think Kiffin now is going to be enraged.
You're getting a touchdown less, so it might be worth Ole Miss in that one. But I think Georgia puts a pounding, and their defense bounces back.
No, I'm with you. Listen, I know you're up against that. I just love talking.
Thank you. Call it. We're here every night, bro. Appreciate you.
All right, man.
All right, bye. Why not? Let's just keep rolling. Dave in Bridgewater. Hey, Dave, West Bridgewater. Sorry, how you doing?
Hey, what's going on, Joe?
Hey.
I'm just calling about that caller with the Alex Pereira bet.
Yeah.
I just think that's a terrible, terrible bet. That guy's never won by submission ever in his entire career.
Well, that's fine, but we were talking about greasy parlays or greasy things. Plus 1,400, why not?
Yeah, I mean, I would just parlay a second-round knockout for Pereira.
So I was going to say the over is 1.5 at 130. You would take that with a little vig in there?
Yeah, I would just take a knockout in the second round by Pereira.
All right, Dave. Appreciate you. All the UFC people are out. Chris in the car. Hey, Chris.
Joe, what's going on, my friend? You and Skies are the best. So I just want to get your opinion. Now that Miami is -1, what do you think?
It scares me. I think Miami's the better team. Patriots are 1-9, their last 10 at Gillette.
That's great. You know what? I think I'm going to ride it out. And again, so with that Mets last night, that's 12-0 now.
12-0. Whoever wins game 1 of a wild card wins the series.
You are the man. You and Skies have a great weekend. Appreciate you.
Thank you. Was that the guy who goes, and I went in the bathroom and I was like, no. Was that guy?
I don't believe so, but I can hear it in the voice a little bit.
Close. When did
I went up to my room. I said, oh.
Yeah, I thought it was that guy, no?
Very similar.
That was good. How many betting calls just came in the
Loaded. I was running around like a chicken with my head cut off back here.
I love that.
Loaded phone. College football, too.
Any night. UFC. You want to talk WWE? We got to go to 985thesportshub.com. We got our picks for the Bad Blood tomorrow night.
There was a Bad Blood call. I don't think he hung on. But yes, anything is welcome on the Joe Murray Show.
We can do it. No, it's the night show.
The Joe Murray Show.
I know they call it the Joe Murray Show. It's just weird. It's weird. But you know what we got to do? In or out, because it's important. And then we're going to talk to John Sarianides. But first, this hour of the sports is brought to you by our good friends over at Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Enjoy quick and convenient vehicle maintenance this month. Visit wingandoilchange.com for 15% off your next drive-through oil change. At Valvoline Instant Oil Change, now open in Rainham, Reading, and Braintree. I'm Joe Murray. What's it going to be, McFly? Next.
What's it going to be, McFly? Are you in or out? 98.5. The Beasley Media Group Station. Sports Hub headlines.
All right, Patriots and Dolphins this week. Bunch of questionable guys. Is Odell Beckham Jr. going to play for the Dolphins? We'll have to wait. We'll have all the coverage Sunday beginning at 10 a.m. here on 98.5. The Sports Hub. The Celtics were back in action today. First preseason game in Abu Dhabi. They took on Denver and they won 107-103. Peyton Pritchard led the way with 23 points. And the Bruins wrap up their preseason tomorrow when they take on Washington. Headlines are brought to you by Safety Insurance, providing comprehensive coverage for your auto, home, and business. Ask your independent agent about safety. I'm Joe Murray. Next update in 30 minutes.
There's the potential there for big stuff.
98.5, the Sports Hub app. Get the app.
Are you in or out? Gotta know without a doubt. I'm the one you need for a dirty deed. I'm the best. Success is...
Right?
It's good for baseball.
Yeah, he's in, and I think he could help maybe elevate that. The Ellie De La Cruz is fat
around there.
In though, and I just the only thing with him is whoever his bench coach is like a package deal. There might be some times where Francona might not be with the team or on the road.
Host for this one, a teacher in California in some hot water this week after it was revealed that she gives her students one bathroom pass per week, and if they don't use it, they get academic extra credit.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Murray, are you in or out on a teacher using a bathroom pass as extra credit?
In. I went to Catholic school. So, like, if you were walking the hallways, you were like, what are you up to? Right?
Joe, I was walking the hallways.
Because you went to public school, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, me, no.
I went to the bathroom a minimum once a class, and that's I didn't go to the bathroom, but I just walked around.
Yeah, that's the whole point. There's no walk to the bathroom and back. Even here, when I go to the bathroom at this place, I still go on a joy walk. I look in the candy bin down there. I see what's going on in sales. What are you guys eating over there? Talk dirty to me. Like, I always do that.
I'm out on this, though.
No,
you can't hold the kid hostage.
I'll go before class. I need those credits, Skaz, to stay on the team. In. Up Houston with an interception. Need some points. In on this one. You don't like it, though.
As someone who frequented the hallways, I have to be out on this one.
Okay.
All right, Joe, we'll head to two former NFL players for this one. Chad Ochocinco and James Harrison, former Patriot, have agreed to an MMA fight before the Super Bowl. So not your traditional celebrity boxing match. This will be an MMA-style fight between Chad Ochocinco and James Harrison. Joe Murray, are you in or out?
I would love to watch James Harrison destroy Chad Ochocinco. The closest thing to Devo from Friday that we have is James Harrison. Remember when he played for the Patriots? Dude, I've watched him get, what is it when you put the needles in your the therapy?
Acupuncture.
I've watched that dude with needles in his body, and he looks like the Hellraiser or whatever it is. James Harrison, dude? What's the line? Can I bet on it?
I've not seen a line yet, but I'm hoping as it gets closer.
Somebody, Jimmy Shapiro, if you're out there, send me a line. That guy's sending me a line on everything. For real. He sends me a line on like, well, Joe, with the upcoming, Conor McGregor, this is the line. I'll take it. James Harrison, Chad Ochocinco. Do you think Chad's got some moves?
Yeah, he seems like a pretty quick guy.
I think he's got like a spinning
jabs,
leg
maybe?
fist punch.
He's going to need something in going against James Harrison. That's a big boy.
James Harrison's...
He's a moose.
He's Debo. Debo! Debo did get knocked out, though, by Ice Cube.
Knocked the...
friend of the show.
Close friend of the show.
Smokey! Smokey! Thank you over there!
All right, Joe, while we're in the MMA world, another NFL player has hinted that they might possibly want to join the UFC when their career is over. One Max Crosby this week said that he has not ruled out a UFC career after his NFL career. Joe Murray, would you be in or out on Max Crosby in the UFC?
In. That dude's a menace. He's got the crazy hair and everything. He got injured last week.
He seems like just the right amount of crazy for the UFC, too.
All right, what else we got?
All right, Joe, we'll head to the world of college football for this. Yeah, you're familiar with our friend Connor Stalions. You're talking Michigan with Julian Edlow earlier.
Yes.
Connor Stalions, infamous for stealing signs for Michigan. Well, now it is rumored that Connor Stalions is going to be getting a new job interning for one Dave Portnoy at Barstool.
Okay, did Dave go to Michigan?
Yes.
Okay, I get it now.
Also, did you hear his? He said he would offer $1.5 million a year to their NIL to go strictly to the quarterback position.
I saw that.
I'm in on that.
Hey, it's all about the collective, right? The head of the Michigan collective is probably, one of the heads. There's got to be somebody from Michigan with more money than Portnoy, though, right? Brady?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, think of the guys that went there. But yeah, a lot of Shefty went there. Eisen might have went there, but yeah.
Who's made the most money, you think, out of any Michigan athlete? Chris Webber made a lot.
That'd be Brady, right? Just because he's Brady.
Ty Law?
All the off-field stuff with Brady, though.
It's probably... Okay. I would probably say it's Brady, but is there anyone that would shock you?
I know Brock Lesnar went to... He didn't go to Michigan,
Minnesota.
but he went to, one of those... Maybe there's a wrestler... Oh, Magic Johnson.
Well, Michigan State.
Michigan State. Charles Woodson.
What Michigan athlete made the most money? This is just a simple Google search.
Jerome Bettis?
AI will probably come up with it. Well, the first thing that popped up was Nico Collins made a lot of money recently. Michigan athlete. Out of Michigan. We'll keep working on that. It's probably Brady. Why am I even doing this? Where'd Michael Phelps go?
Probably some ACC school like Stanford. It's just a funny thing to say.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll look into it on a break. Anything else?
All right, Joe. The Joker 2 has come out, and it is getting horrible, horrible reviews. Apparently, people big fans of the first one, not so much the second one. Joe Murray, are you in or out on going to see a movie because it has bad reviews?
In. I don't care what other people think.
No, but I'm saying the reviews are so bad about Joker that you're like, I need to see this because it's horrible.
Okay, do you want to know what happened? One day I heard how sad Manchester by the Sea was.
And boy, is it.
So you know what I did, right? I said, I'm going to go see Manchester by the Sea. And when I left, I went, everyone was right.
Why did I do that to myself?
Yeah. I was pissed. I did that to myself. So I'm in. I love Joaquin Phoenix. Lady Gaga, I'm in. How could this be bad? Unless it's like one of those play movies.
I believe it is a musical.
Oh, no.
I think there's a lot of dream sequences as well. So yeah, I think people might be out on that.
You know what? I liked Across the Universe. You ever see that? The Beatles one? I don't need any more. Oh, no. That Manchester by the Sea, I don't think I've ever seen it again, by the way.
No, that's a movie you watch. You watch that one time. You don't need to do that to yourself more than once.
No. And it's funny because I've driven by everywhere there. Do you know what movie stunk? And somebody actually threw the Brokerage Bay put this in the Slack. She went to go see the movie The Meg. Remember the Megalong Dong?
That was like Jason Statham and the shark. Right?
Yeah, and the shark and the dude from The Office there, Dwight Schrute was in it.
Rainn Wilson.
And the Megalong Dong was awful. But you know what? When it's on television, I watch it. Out on musicals, though. Out. The last good musical I watched, if you want to call it a musical, The Eras Tour by Taylor Swift. Fantastic. Are you ready for it? Boom, boom, boom. Anything else tonight?
That is going to wrap up a Friday night edition of In or Out.
All right, we're going to talk to John Sarianides, New England Football Journal, coming up next here on the Sports Hub.
You're listening to Joe. You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5. You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.
All right, back here 98.5 the Sports Hub. I'm Joe Martin. Skaz is here. Let's go to the Volkswagen Dealers Expert Hotline right now. We'll welcome in John Sarianides. He is from New England Football Journal. And I got a text from one Scott Zolak who said he loves John from New England Football Journal. It's his boy. I said, I've known him for years. He goes, he helps with King Philip with our team. And then he showed me a picture of his son who's 6'5", 230 pounds at 15 years old. Can you confirm that, John?
I can. The younger Zolak has great size, a great kid to work with, enjoy coaching him. He's got a bright future ahead. So, yes, I can confirm that.
He's bigger than me. I met him at the Army-Navy game. He's a big boy. 15 years old. What do you think he's going to max out at height-wise?
It's early to tell. I mean, it's hard because when you're talking about somebody who's a sophomore, I mean, typically you get guys that hit that one more growth spurt going into senior year. So he probably has a couple more growth spurts in him. But, one thing we could say about Brody is he could probably put on another half an inch, and he's got some position versatility. He can play quarterback. He could potentially play tight end, D-end.
Ooh.
He can do a bunch of things for us down the road.
Oh, that'd be cool to go to Little Zoe games. That means we can hang out.
And then go to Parker's afterwards for wings. There you go.
We could hang out. Maybe the game's on a Saturday, let's say, not a Friday night. Game's on a Saturday. We go watch Little Zoe and then go to Parker's Pub.
There you go.
Sounds like a great time. John, you're a credentialed member of the New England Patriots. What's your take on the morale in the Patriots locker room?
Well, I mean, look, when you're 1-3, it's not going to be good, right? It's interesting because I've thought a lot about what happened yesterday with Evan. And first of all, I've gotten to know Evan covering the team. He's a great dude. He does good work. And I know a lot of people have had their opinions on what he had to say. I give him a lot of credit for what he had to say. But when you're 1-3, morale's going to be low. And there isn't going to be a lot of confidence in that locker room, and nor should there be. They're not very good right now. And I think at the end of the day, look, if what Evan said yesterday was true, and I know that, he talked about it with you last night, if it's true, I think it says a lot more about the players that are in that locker room than anything else. Not for nothing, but when you're 1-3 and guys are already complaining and they're down and there's some fracturing going on in the locker room, what that tells me from a coaching standpoint is you don't have the right dudes in your locker room. If they're already falling apart after 4 games, you need guys that are going to weather the storm and try to get through to the other side. You don't need guys that are already pointing fingers and talking about themselves and their role. That just means you don't have the right people in the room. So do I think that the locker room is fractured? I don't think it's fractured. But again, when you're 1-3, there's going to be some negativity. There's going to be some guys wondering things out loud and talking about their role and expressing their displeasure. That's not uncommon when you're struggling. But again, if this is going on at a heightened level after 4 games, you have to question whether or not this team has the right people in that locker room.
All right, talking to John Sarianides, New England Football Journal. Go check out their website. Dolphins, Patriots. Patriots are 1-point favorites. They weren't favored in any game on the look-ahead this year. They're getting the Dolphins on a short week with a backup quarterback. I think there's more talent on the Miami side. Patriots are 1-9 their last 10 games at home. Why do you think the Patriots are favored, and who do you like?
Well, I think it's the Tua factor. It's the only reason they're favored. Obviously, if Tagovailoa were healthy, Miami's probably favored by 7 to 10 points in this game, but he's not. And their offense has struggled without him, which is remarkable to me, Joe, because I agree with you wholeheartedly. Miami has a talented roster, especially on offense. I don't understand how they're so bad without him. And again, I'm not taking anything away from Tua. Obviously, they've built this offense around him. But with that kind of a skill group, you mean to tell me that a guy like Tyler Huntley, who's been around the league for a long time and a proven veteran backup, he can't get this offense going? I mean, if I'm Mike McDaniel, you got to look in the mirror there. That aside, I'm not surprised that they're favored because, like I said, again, Tua's out, so it makes sense. But if the defense doesn't play better than they have the last 2 weeks, I don't care what Vegas says, Miami's going to win this football game. Patriots have a lot to clean up defensively. Fundamentally, from a communication standpoint, they're going to need to play much better. And then offensively, they got to figure out a way to get this passing game going. They got to figure out a way to protect Brissett, and they got to figure out a way to get all of their receivers more involved because, as we've seen so far through 4 games, this passing game is non-existent.
All right, John, I like your analysis on that one there. Tell us about BC this week, taking on Virginia. They're 1-point favorites on the road. Virginia's now turned on the gas, and we'll see Castellanos out. A really good win last week for BC. How do you see this one shaping out with BC on the road as a 1-point favorite?
This is a must-win for them, and the reason I say that is now you're away from the friendly confines of your place. Got to go on the road. Virginia can be a tough environment. Tony Elliott's done a good job getting that program going. Remember, Virginia came up here last year and played them tough. BC had to come from behind in the fourth quarter. This is a game, I'm not going to say this is a game they should win, because I think when you look at this game, it's a push. It could go either way. Important for Boston College to get off to a good start, establish that running game, get Castellanos going early with some easy throws. If they can do that, they should be in pretty good shape. But again, I think the key is they have got to be able to control the pace early, because if they don't, and Virginia scores first, and they can carry the play in this game, Boston College could be in a little bit of trouble. Look, they did not play well last week. They were lucky to survive that Western Kentucky game, winning 21-20. They've got to play a much better game this week, much cleaner. And above all else, they need to get off to a good start. Can't get off to a slow start again like they did last week.
Yeah, I've been impressed. I was impressed last week without Castellanos. Can they do this on the road? Like, I know they battled with Missouri, who has a big game this weekend against Texas A&M, but I don't know, man. I like this BC story. I wonder if it can continue this week.
It can. I mean, look, the one thing that they do well is they run the football offensively, and the other thing that they do well is they've played pretty good defense so far. You got Donovan Ezaraku, who's one of the best pass rushers in the country. So the formula is the right way to win football games at any level of football if you can execute it. They have got the formula. They've got the coach. They've got what it takes. I think what it comes down to is they've got to play cleaner. Last week, there was a little bit of that post-Michigan State hangover where they got off to a slow start. Castellanos didn't play. Grayson James got the start. It took him a little while to get going. They can't get off to a slow start. You can't get off to a slow start on the road, period. It is harder to come back when you're away from home. So they cannot afford a slow start tomorrow. Like I said, I think it's imperative for them to score first if they can and carry the play, because if Virginia can do that, that passing game is explosive. They're going to give that BC secondary some problems. Eagles cannot afford to play from behind in this one.
All right. What you guys got any games? What are you covering this weekend?
Well, we're out in a bunch of games tonight. We're at 4 games here in Massachusetts. We're at a couple of games out in Rhode Island. Big one down in Rhode Island between Bishop Hendricken and LaSalle. Our Charlie Adams is down there at that one. And then, of course, tomorrow we'll have full coverage of all 16 D1 teams. We'll be at several games. I'll be at Brown Bryant. Kevin tonight is at Harvard UNH. So, and, of course, you have the Patriots on Sunday. So it's always a busy weekend for us in season.
Awesome, man. What else is going on?
Same old, man. You know, I was a little surprised today to see that Roman Reigns is wrestling tomorrow night. Now, I must admit, when it comes to this time of the year, I'm a bad wrestling fan. I'm not into the loop as much as I should be. I didn't see that coming. I didn't see that he was wrestling tomorrow night. I believe it's Bad Blood.
Bad Blood. Bad Blood. Yeah. There's a Hell in a Cell too. Steel Cage. CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre.
In classic WWE fashion, where they take a feud and they somehow milk it for 6 months. I don't know how much more you can do with that feud after tomorrow night, but I'm sure they'll find a way to repackage it for the next pay-per-view.
One other thing I'd like to add to that is the Georgia-Auburn game. This Bad Blood event will be in Georgia, and it sounds like The Rock may be the guest picker for the Georgia game. Maybe we see The Rock at Bad Blood.
I would tend to think so, right? I mean, he did this last year when he was in Colorado.
All right.
I would tend to think if he's in town, he'll make an appearance tomorrow night.
I'm in on The Rock coming back.
I am too, man. See, I know I'm in the minority when I say this. I would love to see him and Rhodes at WrestleMania 41. I'm good with Reigns, Rhodes 3. I don't need that in my life. And me and a couple buddies of mine disagree on that, but I'm good with it. Two matches between the two of them is fine for me. I don't need the third and final installment.
All right, man. I heard you say Dolphins. You think the Dolphins are the better team?
On Sunday, look, for me, I think they're the better team on paper, but until McDaniel figures out a way to get more out of the backup quarterback to get this offense going, I would not be surprised if the Patriots won 17-14. I think it's going to be that kind of game. You know what? I'm going Patriots 17-14. I think they pick up win number 2. They also win because TB12 is going to be in the house. Don't forget that.
Wait, is that true?
Well, I believe this is the Fox.
No, they moved him off of it.
Oh, they did?
No, yeah, that's right. He originally was. And then they moved him off, so he's not going to be there. Speaking of this, Skaz and I just had a conversation. Who is the richest Michigan Wolverine athlete of all time?
That's a good question.
Because you would assume it's Brady, but is there anybody else?
I mean, I think in our lifetime, it has to be Brady, right? But when you think all time, I mean...
Well, I said Chris Webber.
Would make sense because NBA salaries, even during his era, were inflated. He got 3 big contracts.
He made $178 million.
It's more than Brady made with the Patriots.
Let's see. Tom Brady, all-time salary.
Well, he made more money overall.
Oh, yeah. It says he's made between $525 and $530.
Yeah, he made more money overall.
I don't think anyone's made that much from the Michigan. Nobody could have.
Yeah.
Where did Michael Phelps go to school? Why can't I remember that?
I don't know where Michael Phelps went either. That's a good question. Isn't he a Maryland guy? I don't think he went to Maryland, but I think he's a Maryland guy.
He went to Michigan.
He did. There you go.
I knew it because Portnoy is the head of the collective now.
Yes, he's willing to pay upwards of $3 million a year to get a quarterback to transfer into Michigan. They can get an exclusive NIL deal with Barstool.
Hey, by the way, do you have a relationship with Matthew Sluka? What'd you think of that?
You know, we know him well, obviously having covered him, and we do have a good relationship with Matt. But look, I don't blame him if they promised him certain things that they did not deliver on. I could say this about Matt. He is a high-quality, high-character kid, always great to deal with, always great to cover. Anybody that attacks his character doesn't know Matt. From a personal standpoint, I don't think Matt would have done this if they didn't promise him a certain amount of money and then reneged. I think that's why he ultimately did it. I don't think it's because he got greedy. Matt does not strike me as that kind of kid.
I wonder where he ends up.
It'll be interesting. I mean, he's going to be, given the success he had there in a short amount of time and what he did, of course, at Holy Cross, I think he'll be a pretty popular name in the portal. And again, you got that one more year. You got to maximize it. He's got to end up in a system, though, that allows him to be a true dual-threat guy. He's not going to be a pocket passer, throw the ball first guy. He's got to be in a system where he can do both because he can do both at a high level, but you got to use him on the ground.
Just quickly, next week is Ohio State, Oregon. Tomorrow, Oregon gets Iowa. Iowa's 20-point dogs. Tonight, Michigan State gets 24 versus Oregon. Do you see a slip-up on a look-ahead on either of those games?
I don't. I saw Michigan State in person 2 weeks ago against Boston College, and while Aiden Childs has a lot of talent, their quarterback, he had 3 really bad picks in that game. He doesn't take care of the ball. Former UMass running back K'Ron Lynch-Adams is their starting tailback. He's a grinder. But for me, when I look at Michigan State, I think to beat a team like Oregon, you got to make big plays. I don't think they can make enough big plays, not only to win the game, but I think to even be within 4 scores of them. Now, I will say this. Oregon's been inconsistent this year, though. And I'm not a Dylan Gabriel guy because he can be inconsistent. So that's a slippery slope for me, Joe. 24 is a tough number because I can see Oregon winning by 3 or 4 scores, but that extra 3 there could be the difference. So I'm tempted to take Michigan State as a dog here, but, man, Childs is so sloppy with the ball. I'm hesitant to do it.
The whole world is on Syracuse tonight because I've told everybody to take them.
Well, and I'll say this about Syracuse. Fran Brown's done a really nice job there. They come into town here in a couple of weeks to take on Boston College. She's done a terrific job there. And there's a program that I think looking forward, that's a program that's going to recruit really well in this area. I mean, you got Bo McCormick from BBNN is committed there. You're going to start to see some of the local kids commit to that program. If you ask me who Bill O'Brien and Boston College's number one out-of-region competition is going to be, it could be Syracuse. I think they're going to have a legitimate footprint here in New England, which they used to for years. So wouldn't be surprised if they make a comeback.
All right, John. Good catching up. Appreciate all your help.
Good catching up. Hey, by the way, real quick before you go, a friend of mine texted me, Derek Jeter, for your Michigan money question. But did he play at Michigan, though? I think he's from Michigan. I'm not sure he played at Michigan, though. I don't think he did.
No, I don't think he did. Did he come out of high school?
I think he went straight out of high school to the Yankees.
Yeah.
He's from Michigan but didn't play at Michigan. But, yeah, it has to be Brady. I mean, he obviously played for 23 years, so, I mean, makes sense.
I guess it's who's the second. Like, Jalen Rose made a lot of money. He's still going.
Yeah? He's made a lot of money in TV.
Phelps, I mean, it's probably all endorsements, right?
Yeah, I would think so. I saw a commercial with him the other night. He's got a man bun now, by the way.
What?
He does. Phelps has a man bun now, like a little pale man bun.
He must be smoking weed all the time and not swimming anymore.
Oh, yeah. He's gone full Ricky Williams, hanging out in the cave, sparking up dudes.
Well, remember he had the greatest lungs in the world.
He did. And now those lungs can be filled with capacity with weed.
Well, when you have the greatest lungs in the world, you might as well do the best.
You might as well puff the magic dragon, Michael.
He's John Sarianides, everybody. Check out New England Football Journal. You want all the latest on the Patriots, any college, any high school. They got it all. John, appreciate it, man. We'll do it again next week.
Always a pleasure, my brother. Great catching up with you guys.
Take care, bud.
Later, man.
Yep. All right. Should we do this? Zoe had an interview with Mayo. Let's do it. Zoe sat down with Gerard Mayo. We get some sound for you. We'll do it after the headlines here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Sports Hub headlines.
Patriots and Dolphins square off this Sunday at Gillette Stadium. All the coverage here on the Sports Hub. Many players questionable. Odell Beckham Jr., one of them for the Dolphins. The Celtics played today in Abu Dhabi.
Felger and Maz are just his pregame.
They've been getting wholesale deals for years.
It's Joe Murray on the Sports Hall.
I had a conversation with Ramondre, and quite frankly, this week he won't be starting, and I'll just be very upfront and very transparent. But he will play, and he understands that he has to protect the football going forward, and it's a mentality at this point. It's an awareness at this point. It's really not much more to do about technique or anything like that. It's just knowing you're a target on a week after week basis as soon as you show that you're going to put the ball on the ground.
Back here, 98.5, the Sports Hub. So, Ramondre's getting benched. I'm going to be transparent. You fumble, you ride the bench. And I'm going to say this right now. If Bill Belichick was here, his ass would have been on a bench a long time ago. You were feeling that, huh? Weren't you, Skaz?
Yeah, it's not often I get a Joe Murray request. So
I'll get another one later.
I'm happy to fulfill any requests.
Well, the final hour, it's got Show Me the Money.
We got to open.
I've already how many more bets can I give out tonight? By the way, Ramondre Stevenson is getting benched. That's the lead right there. He's getting benched.
And rightfully so.
Antonio Gibson, it's competition, right? Who's the guy who preaches competition? Not for nothing, too. If you look at all the carries for the Patriots running backs this year, 156 to 29, that's a discrepancy. So just to get it to a little bit more even, give Gibson. You know what? I want to see more Gibson. The only thing Ramondre's done wrong is fumble the football. Really. So, he should be benched. Earn it back. You're a good back. I still think Ramondre will get some I still think Ramondre will get some run. But if they're going hasty over Stevenson, then I'm out, okay? Out. What were we talking about, though? I was getting into something else.
That song, maybe? I don't know.
Oh, we got Joey the Money. We got our Boston song. What's the name of that song?
Mind on the Road.
Mind on the Road. That song just that because I'm rocking out about a 7.8 right now. What's your rating right now?
I'm probably a 7.5.
You're about 7.5. Okay.
Friday night, still going strong.
I had a long day today. I woke up at 7. Actually, I woke up a little earlier than that, but I left my house at 7:30 today. By the way, I'll post this in a minute here, but I got a chance to hold the new Jason Tatum sneaker.
You were impressed.
Autographed from the All-Star game a couple of years ago. But I got to hold it. His autograph's really, he signs it like a check. In on that. If I want your autograph, I want it like you're writing a check. No initials. Out. All these new guys, I just got a Anthony Rich.
Oh, he does just the AR.
Out.
I've seen that.
Here he is. I finally get this autograph, and it's AR. I have. Skaz, do you have an autograph? Is your?
I mean, not really. No,
but I mean, come on.
It's chicken scratch.
You know what's funny? I've had people ask me for autographs. What? I'll take a photo with you. What's my autograph worth? Who wants an autograph? But Jason Tatum's is good. Jason Tatum's has a good one. And I'm about to tweet it out. Oh, we get the musings next, huh? Murray's Musings. I'm Joe Murray here on the Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. On the way.
And get your mind in the game and listen to the words of a grown man complaining.
All right, Murray's music. Left my homie's house paid. Picked up a girl I've been trying to date since the 12th grade. It's ironic. I had about a 7.5. I'm at a 7.8. We're going into the weather all day. It's a way to later on in the show when you're what happened earlier. It helps us find stories. And you know, Joe Murray loves a good story, right? I like stories. You guys know that. And a couple came over today. One of them was Connor McDavid is deathly afraid. I remember. I keep receipts.
Yes, Joe. We've all done things in our past that we're not proud of. I believe you mentioned.
I used to twist them at Hyde Park.
Yeah, so you used to
and
twist
throw them at the bus.
And we would a line underneath a toilet seat or a folding seat. You put a couple packets of ketchup right under there. You put the toilet seat down just very gently. Someone goes to sit on the toilet. Apply the pressure to the ketchup packets. The back of their knees are then covered in ketchup.
Back of the knees. So I have friends, maybe Stephen Peabody. I don't know. Somebody, when Edmonton comes around, let's get them ketchup bottles popping, baby. Squirting ketchup.
Line the Oilers locker room with ketchup packets.
Riz, we used to step on ketchup packets at school and square people with them. Yes, that's the oldest trick of the book. We used to do that before cars came. We'd throw them out. They'd run. Why were we such punk kids?
It's funny. Why do you do anything, Joe? It's funny.
I used to tighten the hell out of those little packets, though.
We used to, heavy emphasis on the used to. You go out to a place, they have the salt and pepper on the table, maybe some red pepper flakes, something like that. You just very slyly loosen the top of the containers, just enough so that they're loose, but you can't tell they're loose. And then the poor, unsuspecting person that comes after you goes to put a little salt or a little pepper on something, and then out comes the whole entire container. Yeah, we were younger, more childish back in the day. Not proud of those actions.
Here's my next question. Do you think he hates tomatoes?
Almost feels like it goes hand in hand, right? Like
Connor McDavid should have never shared this. Like if people wanted, if people wanted to distract me, they could roll balls of lettuce at me. Okay.
Treat like a panda in the zoo, just throwing vegetables at you.
Like a dodgeball, just a head of lettuce. Yes, that I'd be freaked out. I did watch Jackass. There was, I forget which Jackass movie, but one of their producers hated mustard. And they held him up and squirted away. He freaked out, dude. Freaked.
Well, I just think of when Bam unfortunately told the crew that he was deathly afraid of snakes.
Oh, yeah.
They locked him in a horse trailer with a bunch of snakes.
Of course they did. What else did you send me in Slack today that I thought was funny? What is ghost poop? Why you must pay attention to this spooky sounding bowel movement?
Please read the first line of the New York Post story. Please.
Hang on, let me stop my laughter first. I'm belly laughing right now. My belly is... In the spirit of spooky season.
No, Joe. Right above that, please.
What is ghost poop?
No, the first line in the article.
Boo poo.
That's enough for me right there.
I'm not reading the story. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
I don't know if we'd get through it.
I'm not doing it. yeah, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't.
You can't. You're afraid of the ghost poop now. that Honey Boo Boo's cousin right there?
Oh, man. This happens to me once a week where I'm crying. I'm crying, everybody. My belly hurts. I get that cramp from laughing. You ever get that? It's ghost poop.
What is a ghost poop?
What is it, Skip? Do you want to read the story? 'Cause I don't think I'm going to get through it.
A ghost poop is a term used to describe when one stool sinks to the bottom of the toilet and seemingly vanishes without a trace. Gut health expert and registered dietitian Julie Balsamo previously told the Post that without a trace includes an absence of evidence when you wipe. And experts say this is a scary good sign. It's the healthiest bowel movement in a lot of ways. So this is a pro-ghost poop article.
Oh, I got a cramp from laughing. So you poop. It's happened before. I've seen the ghost poop.
Oh, no, you haven't. You have not seen the ghost poop, Joe. That's the whole point of ghost poop.
I've had people tell me before, hey, did you ever go pooping? You can't. And it's like, not there? And I'm like, yeah. It's the ghost poop. Poo-poo. So it's healthy. The ghost poo is good.
We are a pro ghost poop show.
Always, always.
Boo poo.
I wasn't planning to do this one tonight. But we are in October now, right?
This article just gets a little too graphic the more I scroll.
Dude, I got a cramp so bad for laughing. Some guy goes, dude, Ice Cube, friend of the show, had me dying. What do you mean? He is a friend of the show. He's been on twice. Joe, I'm in tears listening to this. The ketchup stuff was great, but broke down. Oh, God. Oh, God, I got a cramp. You ever laugh like that? Where you're like in hysterics?
Yeah, usually comes around this time, Joe.
Man. You know when you like play basketball and it's like you've been running sprints, but you get that cramp? That's me right now. So we're bringing ketchup to the McDavid games.
Get in contact with our buddy Steve.
And that spooky season is going to be called Boo Poo.
Might see some ghost poop costumes this year.
Oh, well, what would that be? We can't see it. There had to be another story you sent me today that was good. Oh, the extra credit one. Dunkin' Donuts has a Halloween-inspired menu. Oh, God, no. I can't think of these. I can't think of Munchkins and Ghost Poo at the same time. Is he a part? No, his brother is in Run DMC. Right? Rev Run? Or is that his brother?
Would have been one Jimmy Williams' 80th birthday today.
Horses in the barn.
Former Red Sox manager.
Pedro. Horses in the barn. Who else we got? Christopher Waltz, 68 years old today.
He's good.
Melissa Benoist.
No idea.
She's in Supergirl.
Kind of a weak birthday day.
Rutherford B. Hayes, the 19th U.S. president.
Buster Keaton, born on this day in 1895.
Like, we're reaching, bro. We're going back to 1800s. I wonder if they got visited by the ghost poo. Boo, boo.
You a Howard Stern fan, Joe?
Duh.
On this day.com birthdays, it is Stuttering John Melendez' birthday.
Oh, Stuttering John.
It's kind of funny to see like an ancillary character be on the famous celebrities page.
Do you know what I watched recently? Joan Cusack's a fox in that movie.
Is that Antonio Banderas in that one?
No, this was the one when they sent the kids to camp, and then Fester met, obviously, Joan Cusack, And she was like, "I'm having a child," and the kid had a mustache right away too. But they were always trying to like do something to the kid. I didn't like that. Halloween on this year. Oh, it's on a Thursday, Skaz.
The Bruins play the Carolina Hurricanes that night. So we will be here.
We'll be here. Okay. Maybe I'll dress up as a ketchup packet. Carolina Hurricane.
I know a guy. I believe we have friends that are very close to the ketchup business. I believe so. They a baseball podcast.
But like the peanut butter jelly time guys. Why can't we get a ketchup guy?
I think they're big ketchup guys over there. We'll have to do a little research.
Okay. Boo poo and ketchup. What a combo. We didn't even tell you the Munchkin story. All right, Murray's music's done for the night. Let's do the final hour of the show here on 98.5 The Sports.
WBZ-FM and HD Boston. Patriots! From the opening kickoff to the final play.
Touchdown!
Your home of the past. 98.5 The Sports Hub. Beasley Media Group Station. Sports Hub headlines.
Oh. That cramp, man, still. I have to walk it off. Patriots and Dolphins this week. A lot of people injured. No word yet who's going to play and who doesn't. Could Odell Beckham Jr. be back? Maybe. Celtics won today in preseason action in Abu Dhabi. Peyton Pritchard went off. 23 points. And the Bruins wrap up their preseason tomorrow against Washington. Headlines are brought to you by Safety Insurance, providing comprehensive coverage for your auto, home, and business. Ask your independent agent about safety. I'm Joe Murray. Next update soon.
Listen to it. Laugh at it. Get mad at it. Agree with it. Argue about it. It is Boston Sports. Boston Sports. And it is all we do. 98.5. The Sports Hub.
Final hour here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Patriots, Dolphins. Got Show Me the Money coming up. I got bets for y'all. I think I went 3-1 last week. My one loss, I think, was Ole Miss. I think it was. Oh, and I had Georgia. Sorry about that. Damn Alabama. 17-year-old kid scoring touchdowns. Being good and everything. Oh, well. I got bets for you. Show Me the Money coming up in 20 minutes. Just about 20 minutes. The Celtics played today. They look good. Saw Jason Tatum's new shot. Looked solid. And Jaylen Brown looked yoked. Big boy. Muscles everywhere. I'm excited for the Celtics. They open up against the New York Knicks. Well, why don't we take this call here, Skaz? His name is JP. He is from North Providence, and he is on the line with us right now. Hello, JP.
Joe, I got to tell you, you're the star of the morning show this week. 2 days in a row. Hits by Beverly Beef. I don't know if they told you, if you've heard it, but You're a morning celebrity, Joe. What can I say?
Yeah, we had a call the other night where some guy called me asking where to get food, and he lived near me. And I just
Joe, I heard that. Are you kidding? Of course.
But like the guy, like, you know, after he asked me, he's like, "All right, man, I'm going to let you go." It's like, no, dude, you called me.
Everybody's dying to know who the car dealer was, Joe. That's a better question than why they bench Butler. I'm telling you, Joe.
It was Kevin Misha. Misha Mitsubishi.
Oh, okay. Misha Chevrolet. Mitsubishi.
yeah,
That's right. So, Joe, we got some questions for you. As always, it's a Friday night. The big weekend's coming. We're going up back to Newburyport again. So we're not going to go to the Point, which great recommendation. I need a place at Topsfield. We're going to a farm there, getting some corn stalks, some pumpkins, you know, doing the apple picking thing without the apple picking. So do you have a lunch place in Topsfield?
Topsfield? Oh, yeah, absolutely. I like the bar. There's a bar, right? Well, personally, I would go to Ipswich if you're going to go to Topsfield.
Okay, I can do Ipswich and then scoot up to Newburyport, sure.
Oh yeah. I would. Okay, this is a bar, cash only. Would you be down with something like that?
Joe, I still carry a billful. I got cash in the pocket and credit cards on the other side. Gotcha.
All right, if it's Topsfield, go to the 466 pub. Pretty good. It's a little grill over there, okay?
Yeah.
But Ipswich is loaded with great restaurants, like loaded. My Old Faithful, though, is Choate Bridge. It's a bar. They have two sides, bar and restaurant. I sit bar side. They got popcorn while you wait. They have incredible fried clams, really good bar food, good pizza if you like it. It's like just bar food, hang out, watch TV. That's the spot.
Good, I'll try it.
But if you want a little more upscale,
I need water, Joe. Got water?
It's got water. Yeah. If you want a little bit more upscale, Blue Marlin is very good.
Oh, I like the sound already. Blue Marlin, we're in. No offense to the first place, but 99's got the popcorn, Joe.
That's
Can't
true.
do that with this one, Joe. So thanks. So second question, we're doing Morticia Adams and Gomez Adams.
Oh, I love that.
Halloween over at the C-Note.
Are you going to do the dance?
Of course, I'm practicing the tango as we speak, Joe.
There we go. And they throw the knives at each other?
My question, do I go?
You guys going to have the knives?
We're going to have I'll have it all. Oh, the knife. Well, I don't know about the knives, Joe. We might do the hand on the shoulder. We got the look going. The question is, and I need the callers and the chat people to help out. Do I go John Astin 60s, my old school? Do I go Raul Julia? What are we going to do there? I need some help there, guys.
You look like a Raul Julia.
Done. We'll do it.
I mean, you can wear a nice. I'm sure you can find a coat that looks like him.
Yeah, I think I got a stripe one in the closet. I'll find one.
I think you got one in there. Just so you know, Blue Marlin's in Essex, but it's all the same over there. Essex, Rowley, Topsfield. It's all the same.
Sounds great. I'm going to go with what was it? The blue what again?
Blue Marlin Grill. Right on the water.
Well, I like it like Mission Boathouse. Same kind of vibe?
Same vibe. Mission's a little newer, but this one's very good.
I'm in, Joe. We'll give you the feedback top of the week. Oh, I need a bet for Sunday. Give me a Pat's first guy to score a touchdown. Give me something make it worthwhile watching.
Well, I wouldn't bet that because I don't know if they'll score touchdowns.
Well, I could even take that as a prop bet. There you go.
Do you know what? What's Tyler Huntley to throw an interception?
Ooh, I could do a prop like that. Sounds good. Then ending the night watching the MMA over at Encore. So you got something for me there?
I got a friend. Lifshats is going to be there Saturday night.
Oh, I'll find him. Yeah, give me a fight to lay on, Joe.
Well, we took Pereira submission plus 1,400, but we looked it up and he's never submitted anybody. But I would think of the over 1.5.
We'll take it like Pereira. Thanks, Joe. Have a good one.
JP, enjoy yourself, bud. Thank you. All right, Skess. Ramondre Stevenson's benched, everybody. Let's break down the game, and then we got Joe Me the Money here on the Sports Hub.
You're listening listening to Joe Murray on 98.5. Solak and Bertrand get you through the midday. Joe Murray gets you right through the night.
I actually spoke with women today.
On the Sports Hub.
All right, back there, 98.5, the Sports Up. Patriots-Dolphins, who you got? Just real quick, if you want all the discussions for this weekend, I'll start with James Scaramuzzino, wrote an article over at 98.5thesportsup.com. He has this weekend's best matchups. Go check them out, everybody. Also, Over Under podcast is done. Myself and Dan Lifshatz, the Bankroll Boys, back together. We did every single college football game. We did every single NFL game. So go to 98.5thesportsup.com, click the Over Under app or the Over Under icon or whatever, and then you'll see our college football and our NFL. So go check out. We gave out 15 picks this week. 15. I'm going to give you 4 or 5 before we leave here in just a little bit. So check out all our work. And then I know we're working on the Frank Martin interview that we did the other night. So we'll post that because UMass will be getting going. So UMass can be a big part of our program this year. Maybe we'll get Don Brown on at some point. We'll see. So Patriots and Dolphins this weekend. It's the 2 worst offenses in football. The Patriots are due at the same time. Is Miami this bad? They're the lowest scoring offense in all of football. They're playing Tyler Huntley this week. They're going to get back, potentially, Odell Beckham Jr. Tyreek Hill's going to want the ball more, and A-Chain can run. The Patriots' defense is ranked 29th in the NFL this year. Last year, they were ranked 9th. I think the reason for their struggles defensively is because of the injuries, right? You lose Barmore, Judon's gone, and Bentley. I mean, those are 3 big losses. Now you're going to lose Kyle Duggar. It's tough blow. I think Jelani Tavai is a little bit more exposed than normal. So can the Miami offense do anything? And you would think the Patriots at home would run the football. I think everything lines up for the Pats, but they're one of the worst home field advantages in football. Are they going to get too cute? Van Pelt's had some struggles of late making just simple plays. Jacoby Brissett is getting beat up every single week. The Patriots are favored. I don't understand why, but you know what? I feel like this is one of the only games that they can win. Their line is in shambles. Who's playing tackle this week, guys? It's not Anueno. Are they going Caleb and the other guy? Yeah, those guys. Yeah, the Caleb guy, the other guy.
Yeah, the other guy.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah. And then they go with some guy named Hudson at center, right? And then Michael Jordan. Not the Michael Jordan we know, though. This is what we're talking about right now.
Where's the tuba player when you need
him? Where
Where
is he? I looked him up recently.
Jordan Devy?
Yeah, Jordan Devy retired with somebody recently. The line's bad. You mean to tell me Calais Campbell's just going to sit over there and just let that happen?
I am glad that Wilkins is no longer there, a local guy that wreaked havoc on the Patriots.
That guy's a menace. You're right. He's not there this year. I think I'm going to bet the Patriots. I think. But I'm going to tell you right now. There's too much talent on Miami. There's just too much. The Pats are that bad. So Calais Campbell, they have Chop, even though Chop Robinson, he's like their big left outside linebacker now. But they're without Jordan Poyer. Kendall Fuller is going to play this week. They actually have a guy named Storm Duck on their team. But Javon Holland's a really good. Jalen Ramsey, you know these guys. Brissett's not going to be able to throw. And I think they're going to have to run on them. Besides Campbell, I don't think they're strong up front. This is going to be a low-scoring affair, bro. Under 35. 7-3 this year. Totals 40 or under. How big is this game for Gerard Mayo? Mike McDaniel loses, it's like he has a built-in excuse. It's funny. I was talking to Maz about this before we started the show. What do you think Tua Tagovailoa is worth against the spread? Like, I think Josh Allen might be the most important player against the spread. Maybe Mahomes. I'll actually look that up soon. But Tua now, I mean, the guy looks like he's worth 6 points a game. Might be a lot, but still. This Mike McDaniel guy is supposed to be one of the best offensive minds, him in his khaki pants. And what does he got, those tint-out glasses like Lifshats? You know? Is he still vaping on the sideline?
I don't think you can vape on the sideline when your offense is scoring 13 points a game.
Yeah, you know what?
Might be frowned upon.
I don't think he should be vaping on the sideline either.
Jody, you like rumors, don't you?
Love a rumor. Oh, tell me this rumor, Skaz.
Well, Joe, this comes from New York Knicks Twitter and a New York Knicks podcaster, so take it for what it's worth.
Just set it up. Set it up.
The New York Knicks have had internal discussions about a potential deal for one Marcus Smart, per sources familiar with the situation. Joe Murray, wouldn't you love to see Marcus Smart in New York going against the Boston Celtics?
I'm doing the Jack Nicholson. Or is it Jack Nicholson? Who's the golfer?
Jack Nicklaus?
He's the golfer.
Yes.
Jack Nicholson's son is the actor. I'm doing the Jack Nicholson. Yes. Oh, my God. Marcus Smart to the Knicks. Please. 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 Oh, Jaylen Brown will roast him. Oh, please. Please. Please make it happen. Please.
Now, that would be some good theater right there.
Please. Please give me Marcus Smart on the New York Knicks. Please. And if not, put him on Philadelphia. Please. Oh, yes. Yes. Oh, please. Oh, please. He'd be such a pain in the ass. He'd be a pain. And then they'd get him. And you know what they'd do? They'd leave him open for the shot and he'd miss it. Please. Oh, I love this. Where did this come from? I need more of this one.
This is from Chris. What is his last name? Persinanen.
Yep.
Chris Persinanen, who in his bio it says podcast, Nick Film School, and Ball is Life, formerly of CBS Sports. Beat reporter for WFUV Sports at one point.
Okay. What's his salary? How do they do this? How would it get done?
Have to be like McBride. I don't even know how they would get it done, but I like a good rumor, Joe.
Oh, please. Please. Make it happen. Oh. Marcus Smart for the New York Knicks, please. Oh, just add more to it. Another chip on the shoulder of the Celtics, please. Please. Oh, is anybody scared? Boo, poo. Marcus Smart. Oh, yes. Some guy's got a call on the Red Sox. Should we even take it? Sure. Why not? Is it Ian or Ian?
It's Ian. Hey, Joe. How you doing?
How you doing, buddy? What part of New Hampshire are you from?
From southeastern New Hampshire, like in the Portsmouth area.
Oh, I love Portsmouth downtown. It's a great spot.
Oh, yeah.
I go to
Mox.
Is it Moxie's? Moxley's?
Yeah, Moxie's is good.
Nice, really
I know you. I know you're a food guy, Joe. Portsmouth is a good food town.
Is there Riverview? Is the other one over there?
Yeah, there's a bunch. There's a bunch of places that you haven't even heard of that are really good. But hey, listen, I wanted to get this isn't Red Sox postmortem. I have a question for you, sir. I respect your intellect and your forecasting abilities, and I wanted to ask you a question. Maserati on the baseball show had some kind of interesting comments over the last couple of weeks as the Sox season was winding up, and one of the things that I just don't I don't know. Are we just in a zone where it's basically because of the Fenway Sports Group And the ownership situation and the Sox being, I said to Tony, it's like the Fenway Sports Group, if it's a Maserati, the Sox are now like some kind of like rusty chrome, like what do they call them? What are the figurines on the front of the car? Whatever, the hood ornament. Like, what do you see? How did the Sox get out of this? Meaning that, like a lot of franchises across all the big four, how do the Sox get out of the Henry ownership? And they're not going to do anything, it looks like. I don't think they're going to change up. They already won the World Series. They've got the glory. It's part of the catalog now as part of the Fenway Sports Group. My question to you, sir, is how does the Red Sox fan base get out of this over time, considering the ownership group? Like, what do you think?
Win.
Okay.
Just win.
Is that it, though?
Yeah, winning cures everything. I went to the Yankees Red Sox 1-game playoff. It was awesome. Place was electric. That was 2021, bro.
Huh.
All you got to do is win, right?
Yeah, but what about the ownership group caring and investing and all that stuff? Winning is great.
Nobody will think about it if they win.
That means the fans are lazy. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean,
like,
the fans
what, a one game?
The fans haven't been given anything to be energized for. But promising prospects? I mean,
do you see the Red Sox, like, do you see the Red Sox over the next, like, you know, they got all the young kids coming up and the whole thing. Okay, great. Do you see them actually being a force in the next 3 years in the context of the leadership group, the ownership group, like kicking ass?
I don't know, but you know, it's a good question. I don't know. I think they need one of these guys, Anthony, one of them, to hit. They need pitching, dude. Really, that's the biggest thing. But just in reality, though, just look at the other sports teams in town, right? Football's king now, right? Like, even the worst teams in the league, people are going to watch and show up and whatever, or hate, right? The Celtics are dominating, and the Bruins are a playoff, Stanley Cup contender. The Red Sox are on the back burner at this point.
Yeah, they have been for a long time.
So if they just win, people will start watching.
Yeah. Are we? So, I'm in my 50s, and obviously, I mean, Jesus, I remember the 163rd game against the Yankees in '79 or whatever. Is it over for the Red Sox in Boston? Do they ever come back to being the number one franchise, or is basically that it, just because of the predominance of the NFL?
I do. I think they come back, man. Appreciate you, Ian. Didn't have that on the bingo card tonight. You know what, guys? Next year, though, is it okay if I have some expectations for the Red Sox?
I think we all should. They've been selling us a bad can of goods for how long?
Yeah, like this year we did talk about them, but once it was done. Unfortunately, and I know this sounds lazy, the Celtics, the Bruins, the Patriots. Until the Red Sox do more, are we talking about them much? And if we are going to talk about them this year, we're going to talk about how disappointing they were. This team could have made the playoffs. I don't blame ownership one bit. Now, if you want to get on ownership, if they just invested a little bit more, they would have been a sure playoff team. They could have been a playoff team with what they had. That's what's sad, right? Isn't that what the sad part is? What they had, they could have been. Real quick, we got to get to the headlines here. We got Joe Me the Money coming up next. I want to give you a score that the city of Boston will be happy about. I'll tell you right after this.
Sports Hub headlines.
All right, Patriots and Dolphins this Sunday. Gerard Mayo said today Ramondre Stevenson will be benched for Antonio Gibson. So that happened.
is a family motto. Are you ready, Jerry?
I'm ready.
Just want to make sure you're ready, brother. Here it is. Show me the money. Money! Jerry, does that make you feel good just to say that? Say it with me one time, Jerry.
Show you the money.
Oh, no, you can do better than that, Jerry. I want you to say it what you would mean it, brother. Hey, I got Bob Sugar on the other line. I better hear you say it.
No. Show you the money.
Not show you. Show me the money.
Show me the money.
Yeah. Louder.
Show me the money.
That's it, brother, but you got to yell at me.
Show me the money.
I need to feel you, Jerry.
Show me the money.
Jerry, you better yell. Show me the money. Here comes the money.
Show me the money. I got 5 bets this week plus 1 prop. How about that, Skaz? Starting in college football, I'm going with an armed forces game. Navy versus Air Force. Air Force, one of the worst teams in the country. Navy's giving 10 points to Air Force. Navy's going to run all over them. Give me the -10. Navy, ring that bell. Here's another one that I've been licking my chops and I'm waiting for it, maybe the line to move a little bit, but I'll give you the number right now. USC goes to Minnesota this week. Minnesota covered last week against Michigan, right? USC has Penn State on deck, Skaz. So you know what you do? You bet the look ahead. Give me Minnesota plus the 8 versus USC. Ring that bell, baby. To the NFL we go. Everybody loves Jaden Daniels. Oh, the Washington offense is so good. They're going to play the Cleveland Browns this week. Cleveland, of course, Deshaun Watson. Maybe they bring in Jameis Winston. Who knows? All I know is this. The Browns were favored. Now they're 3.5-point underdogs against a rookie. Sorry. Give me the Cleveland Browns plus 3.5. Ring that bell. This one's an automatic. Whenever the Colts go to Jacksonville, you bet Jacksonville. Give me the Jags to get their first win, -3. Here's one some may not like. But I'm going to fade them again because I faded them last week. Right now, you can get the Cardinals plus 7.5 versus the 49ers. I still don't think the 49ers are right. I just think they beat the Patriots last week. And they got lucky. I think Kyler Murray is a big day. Marvin Harrison Jr. scores again. Give me the Cards plus 7. And finally, I've been riding this one every week. And the books keep giving me the number. Patrick Mahomes has thrown an interception in every game this year. And he's going to do it again against the Saints. Give me Patrick Mahomes to throw an interception, -135. Your prop of the week. There you go. 5 picks, 1 prop. Joe me the money. We'll wrap up this show here on the other side. I'm Joe Murray, 98.5 The Sports Zone.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. On the way on 98.5 The Sports Zone.
All right, back here at 98.5, the Sports Hub. We're going to give out predictions in a minute here. I guess Matt McCarthy was at an event tonight. Is that correct? He's out about in Boston. You know why? Because our old intern Bryson has checked in. I was in Boston this morning. I was working with Card Vault. You guys probably know the Big Night Studio over there that we've broadcasted out of. I did a stream with them on Fanatics Live today. And Bryson's like, hey, I'm going to come over. And I said, all right, dude. And then he goes, oh, they're not open yet. I go, I know, I'm in a back office. Like, can't just let you in, bro. But he did say he's meeting up with Matt McCarthy right now. I wonder who on the street team that worked on this show is there right now.
We got a couple of them out there, Joe, in the pipeline.
You got Joe Celia. You got
Chris.
Our buddy Chris DeSisto.
Katie.
Katie. Newest acquisition. It's just the pipeline.
It's where I started.
You want to get in radio, you got to go on the street team. You got to do all the events. Got to hand out the swag.
Tons of swag.
I like going out with the street team.
Street team, great time.
Oh, I love going out with them. Sometimes I like riding with them because I get to ride in the truck.
Nice decaled vehicle.
Well, I don't have to pay.
Save some gas money.
Yeah, it's great. They park right on the curb. Like, take me to the cask. Thank you. Pull right up Marist spot. Love this.
Canal Street, just parking right
just
on Canal
right
Street
in front of Hurricanes. No problem at all. Anyways. All right, Skaz. You go first. Patriots, Dolphins, spreads -1, totals 37. What you got?
I hate to cop out here, but I really like our good friend John Sarianides' pick earlier, 17-14 Patriots. I think it's a low-scoring rock fight. I think the Patriots' one advantage might be special teams. Joey Sly has been maybe the Patriots' best player this season. I know that's not a high bar, but Joey Sly has been pretty good. Certainly much better than Chad Ryland. So, yeah, I think this is a huge week for Gerard Mayo, motivating the guys, keeping them interested, for a lack of a better word, while the season seems to be dwindling away, going against a Mike McDaniel team that's facing kind of the same fate. So I think it's a nail biter, a rock fight, low scoring game. Give me the Patriots 17-14.
Patriots win 20-16. They're losing. Raekwon McMillan picks up a fumble and takes it for a touchdown, and they win. 20-16 gives you 36, right? Patriots 2016. I don't like it. It's going to be dirty and ugly and nasty and gross and vomit.
It's going to be boo-poo?
Boo-poo. It's the only game that they can win. I think they're doomed after that. They win this week, dude, it's over. Jags are back on fire. Texans going to roll them. And it's all downhill from there. That's it. We're done. Another week in the books. I will be back here immediately following the Dolphins-Patriots game on post-game with Leroy Irvin. And then we're back here on Monday night. Bruins start on Tuesday night. I won't be